What up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Welcome to yet another episode up in here. Hope everyone's doing well. And got another topic to discuss for you guys, which I'm sure none of you would be surprised about, considering the U.S. empire's fucking reputation in the world at the moment, which obviously wasn't very good, really, to start with. But I mean, but just look at it now. I mean, just look at the fucking international embarrassment that we fucking are now. So, I mean, if you just look at the way everything is, but actually a lot of the tourism decline actually is coming from Canada, because so many Canadians now no longer want to travel to this country because we all know how our fucking retarded ass orange fucking Cheeto in chief is treating him like dog shit, says he wants to fucking annex or make him the fucking 51st state. And let's not forget all of the literal fucking kidnapping of people and putting them in a fucking concentration camp that is owned by a fucking US-run fucking dictator. So, you got that, and then you got all this other shit, and then you got, oh, God forbid you say anything against fucking Israel's genocide. Oh, we're gonna deport you. Oh, Marco Rubio saying that. So, yeah, people really want to fucking come to the U.S. right now, right? Oh, yeah, totally. I mean, I don't even want to fucking be here. I'm only here because I really don't even have a fucking choice. I mean, I don't even have enough money to move to another city. What makes you think I can move to another fucking part of the world? Not gonna fucking happen. Sup Nick, sup Corrado, sup Road, sup... Oh, I was in the hospital due to falling off earlier. I was related to a cancer. Ugh, I'm sorry, bro. I know it's really rough. Cancer is such a fucking rotten, evil, horrible thing. But just remember, the fucking U.S. government don't give a shit about people like your mom or my aunt, because I lost my aunt to cancer. But, last year and everything, and it fucking sucks. It's such a horrible thing. Trump decided in order to boost deep sea mining. Well, okay, well, I mean, bro, I'm not fucking surprised. But yeah, so with all of the things that I said, like you just see the fucking neocons and how they are, and yes, Trump is a fucking neocon. Sorry, MAGA, sorry to fucking break it to you, but they fucking are. Oh, you say anything against Israel's fucking genocide? Oh, we're gonna fucking detain you and we're gonna treat you like a fucking criminal over your fucking dissent? Oh, because they're acting like a bunch of fucking fourth world tyrants over your fucking speech that you made in your own country? But oh, you want to come over here and visit? Oh, you say anything against our beloved Israel? You say anything about our beloved Cheeto in chief? Or fucking little Marco, little fucking retards like that? Oh, no, can't happen, right? Bro, it's like fucking fascism. It's literally like fucking fascism. And remember, this fucking creep into fascism was already happening. It was already happening. It was happening even before all this shit was going on. Get to the point where they're gonna go, President, you think he's worse than W? I mean, bro, he's like W at this point. He is like fucking W at this point. He's just like a more fucking retarded ass version of W. The only thing is Trump hasn't started the fucking war yet. And I use the fucking air quotes, yet. Now again, I'm still going after fucking everybody because, I mean, give me a fucking break. Yeah, as if people really want to come visit our country now. Yeah, people want to come visit our fucking fourth world fucking cesspool that is literally run by psychopaths and has a fourth world healthcare system on its fucking knees. The story circulating around the world about our trains and our subways and our infrastructure crumbling for decades also makes people probably reconsider, hey, I think we want to go elsewhere in the world where we're going to feel safe and we're not going to go on some fucking trains that are probably like 80, 100 years old. That they want to go on a clean environment, and other countries are definitely building it for them. I don't blame tourists canceling trips to the U.S. Oh, fuck yeah. I don't either, dude. A lot of it's coming from Canada, and it's because Trump's being a fucking scumbag to them and wanting to fucking and saying, that he wants to fucking, make him the 51st state. Yeah, that's really going to make him feel welcome, and it's really going to make him feel welcome when you act like a fucking piece of shit to them. Oh, yeah, sure, totally, man. And I'm sure a lot of this, the problems people have had globally with the U.S., oh, trust me, those issues predated, even before fucking Trump took office. But then, of course, Trump just continues to sink it even further the second he gets elected, and then he doubles down, and then he does the single thing he said he was going to do. So don't get angry when he does everything that he says he was going to do. I knew for a fact he was going to do all this shit. I knew it. Because you can't underestimate. He says everything he's going to do. Now, there's some things he can't do, obviously, like the fucking third-term dog shit. That's hyperbole. That's just liberal media hysteria that's never going to fucking happen. But go to Japan, yeah. Go, bro, I don't even want to fucking live here. I mean, you think that I want to live here? Well, except I can't just get up and move. I mean, I can't even afford to go. I mean, most of us can't even afford to go move to a different city, let alone, or a state, let alone another fucking country. I don't even like Benny Shapiro. I mean, yeah, he's so sensible. Oh, yeah, he's so totally fucking sensible, right? Oh, and you know what other country is also experiencing a fucking tourism plummet? You know who else? Israel. I don't know. I think the numbers have fallen off even worse for Israel, but the U.S.'s is not that much better. So yeah, it turns out Israel is also having a fucking massive decline in tourism as well. Gee, I wonder why that is. A fucking genocidal apartheid state that is butchering children and is butchering people in their immediate neighboring countries. People worrying about getting caught up in the crossfire. People worrying about getting caught up in their fucking apartheid regime and being illegally detained or being dealt with like Trump-like conditions. Yeah, okay. Yeah, people really want to go to fucking Israel, right? Get the fuck out of here. But it's a medic, right? Yeah, go to Japan. Yeah, no. I'd like to take my business. I'd go to Aruba. I'd like to go there. No, I would love to go to Canada. I actually would love to go to Nova Scotia. I would love to go to the Atlantic coast, or I'd love to go to like the Pacific coast. I'd love to go to BC. I'd love to go to Vancouver or Victoria or something like that. That'd be really nice. Or I'd love to go anywhere there. I'd love to go to I love to see like the fields and the prairies and the barren lands of Saskatchewan and Alberta. I'd love to go to there. I'd go anywhere there, really. I'd also love to go to Montreal. Montreal seems like a really beautiful city as well. Yeah, trust me. Like I said, dude, I've been critical of Trudeau on a whole number of issues, but nobody got the fucking liberals in Canada elected more than fucking Trump did. I'm telling you. You bullied them into submission, you treated them like fucking dog shit, and then you wonder why they turn and they reunite with the liberals again. You wonder why? Because you're such a fucking retard, that's why. Yeah, because that's why. And that's why they basically counter against this fucking stupid idiot. I want to live in either Japan, Australia, Canada, UK, or even Germany. I just want to live somewhere with no snow, bro. That's the thing. I just want to live somewhere. I want to live in Aruba. Like, Aruba's got the best climate ever. Like, in my opinion, in all the places I've been in the world. And I've got many more places I'd love to travel to. But I don't know, dude. It's always been Aruba, because Aruba is really warm, tropical. It's super windy, so that means it keeps the mosquitoes at bay. Mosquitoes do exist in Aruba, but it's so windy there that the mosquitoes can't pick up. It doesn't rain all that much, although it kind of has been raining a little bit more lately, according to the weather I've seen. I'd like to live there, in all honesty. I know Rhodes said he'd like to live in Cuba. Yeah, I actually would too. I'd love to live on like a beach resort in Cuba or something like that. Or I'd love to live, even like Bermuda or the Bahamas. I wouldn't mind living in either. I've been to the Bahamas. It's really nice. But yeah, no. So Israel is experiencing some fucking tourism declines as well. I don't even know why the fuck anyone would even want to go to Israel in the first place. Genocidal fucking piece of shit apartheid state? No. with this rant, are you a huge fan of ferret cucking? No, no, no. I don't know why you ever got that twisted. Bro, I'm not on the liberals. I'm just talking about the tourism decline. I'm talking about that. I'm talking about all Trump's shitty things. But I was actually going to talk about, I don't think our tourism numbers were very good when Biden was in office either. I don't think they were either. I don't even think they've really recovered from COVID, in all honesty. Because Biden was still fucking mismanaging us, and I don't think people wanted to fucking come here either. I mean, I don't know, but I've noticed the numbers have gone down quite significantly. Are you a huge... No, I would never be a fucking fan of that guy. It's like, dude, why would anyone think that if I'm going hard on Trump, that means I'm going to be a fan of some shit libs? Like, no offense, dog, but I don't know why you would think that. Because, like, I think I've stated pretty significantly what my thoughts are on those fuckers. Not a fan, never have been, and I never would be. But it is true that there's no excuse for the shit with El Salvador. Like, I mean that's basically a violation of fucking due process. I mean, come the fuck on. That's ridiculous. A lot of that shit is a violation of fucking due process, dude. It's ridiculous. Again, it has to be a balance. We have to be a nation of laws. We have to be a nation of borders, and we got to be a nation of laws. All right, so before we're proud to be American, I'm sad and infuriated how fucking stupid retardeds are affecting our country. Oh, yeah, it's only gonna get worse, dude. But it wasn't better. It wasn't really that much better. Actually, it wasn't any better. But under who we had before that, fuck no. You think the situation then was worse in a lot of ways. But I am going to get to something else here in a minute. I am going to get to something here in a minute. The other thing that is pretty ridiculous too. But yeah, I mean, is anyone surprised that no one is traveling to fucking Israel? I don't think it should be a surprise. I don't know who the fuck would ever want to go there. I know I wouldn't. I would never be a fan of ferret cucksons. Like, never, ever, ever again in history. That would never be the case. So, I don't know where anyone got that idea. Sipping a role in the Bible of tourism and how anybody would... Yeah, that's the reason, of course, why fucking neocons and evangelicals. Well, I'll tell you right now, those should be the only people that should go there. They should be fucking throwing off international travel to begin with. No one should be fucking going there in the first place. Again, it needs to be treated like fucking apartheid South Africa. Oh, and of course, I listened to another one of those. Now, don't get me wrong. There's no doubt about the fact that our tourism numbers and our reputation in the world is in a shambles. But it is that way because of how ridiculous and retarded our fucking politicians are. There's no question about that. And there's no question behind the fucking authoritarian bullshit behind the shit with Trump sending these fucking people to El Salvador. They don't even have fucking anything to do with anything. He's just doing it to make more money off of it, obviously. And then all this other shit, and then the stuff with Israel, and then, oh, you say anything about Israel, they're gonna fucking detain you and all that other stuff. That's one of the biggest reasons why people around the world are no longer coming here, and for good reason. I mean, who the fuck can blame them? I certainly don't. I mean, bro, I don't even want to fucking be here at this point. But the fact is, I also love how they say about this authoritarianism and this fucking fascism of Trump. This shit was already fucking happening. So I don't know where all these fucking shit libs have been. I don't know where fucking Kyle Collins, like fucking eggnog on his fucking head. And now I guess he wears a fucking tie now. So he can look more serious. I'm not even kidding. Like, I'm not even kidding, bro. He actually wears a fucking tie now. So he can actually look serious now. He can actually look like halfway serious or something. It's pretty fucking stupid. But No, this whole fucking fascistic bullshit going on in this fucking that has been going on in this fucking retarded ass wasteland that it is. But I'll tell you right now, it was happening before Trump. Trump was just more honest about it. That's the thing. So that's where a lot of that shit has been going. And hey, just go read some of the stuff that Lee Camp has been saying. Goddamn government allows uses morally bankrupt politicians to make America worse and worse and worse as the time progresses. Yeah, and as a result, you create a monster like fucking Trump. You create a monster like fucking Ron DeSantis. Scumbags like that. You create other neocon pieces of shit like Tom Cotton and fucking Lindsey Graham and other fucking warmongering scumfucks like that. You create even fucking more of them. And Trump is just right fucking up there with them. Are you kidding me? Well, fucking course he is. And I do blame that. I blame them for what created this whole situation to unfold in the fucking first place. No matter what the fuck it was. Whether it was with anything. It don't matter. No matter what the fuck it was. Whether it was with anything. But yes, I will never go to the other side. I will never go to the other side just because I am critical of Trump. Anyone who ever thinks I go to the side of fucking Sam Cedar or David fucking Faggot Packman or something, or any of those fucking morons, I mean, dream on, because that would never happen. Check this out. Tourism in Israel has experienced a significant decline. In the moments following the start of the war, incoming tourism decreased dramatically with more than an 80% drop in international tourism. Oh, look at that. It looks like Israel is going to collapse under its own fucking weight at this point. Tourism industry in Israel has been severely impacted by recent events. By come off. It faces considerable challenges in the foreseeable future. Nah, I would never step foot into Israel if you fucking paid me. Seen even worse, would like to see as that. His fucking dad. Well, yeah, of course they did. But so didn't the other ones that just kept enabling them and everything else. I mean, bro, that's really about all. We're not going to get into the whole thing. The whole stream's not going to be about Trump for the rest of the stream and for the next 3.5 years or something. No, it's not going to be the case. No, I hate Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham is fucking scum, and fucking the other one is scum. Would never kiss the skinny toes. Well, Pope Francis didn't either. He fucking didn't either. That's why MAGA was so fucking triggered by him. I mean, bro, why do you think these fucking MAGA tards were so triggered by Pope Francis? They love anybody until it was them. And again, I say MAGA tard no different than how I say fucking Democrats. Or I say about them. I'm critical of them too. I am as critical of them as I am with this. So when the time is right to say something about Trump, I'll say it. Just like I'm going to say it about all the others. Because I'm not going to bury my head in the sand like a fucking ostrich and play one for a team. Nope, that's not how I operate. That's not how Zach the Celtics guy fucking operates up in this bitch. Nope, I don't, because I don't support cunts. No, because I don't support the cunts. I don't support Democunts or Republicans. Nope. Not here, not today. But yeah, that is absolutely fucking hilarious. hilarious. Who in the fuck would ever want to go to piss rail? Like, in all honesty. I know I asked that question already, but it's like, the fuck, yo? Who would ever want to go there? No. Apartheid piece of shit. Oh my God, could you imagine? And I'm sure at their fucking fourth world international airports and piss rail, I'm sure they check everybody's fucking identity. They're checking everything out. And I'm sure this is how a lot of this shit happened with Richard Medhurst. Just look at the fucking fascist censorship against Richard Medhurst. Guarantee you, Zionist operatives had everything to do with it. Germany and Austria and all them. And all that fucking bullshit. That's how a lot of that happened. That was happening with the fucking EU. The whole racist, sexist, misogynist narrative. No, not really. I mean, do I think Trump is a fucking racist? Of course I think he's a fucking racist. But I think Biden was also a fucking racist. Are you kidding me? Oh yeah, no. Trump is a fucking bigot and a proven bigot. There's no question in my mind about any of that stuff. No, Trump is a bigot against Muslims. He's a bigot against Hispanics. He's a bigot against black people. He's a bigot against a lot of fucking. He's a fucking scumbag. There's no doubt that he's fucking racially motivated, racially insensitive at the very least. And I'm using that fucking term loosely. I don't know. I think he's a fucking dumbass. And that's really all I'm gonna say. All right, we're moving on from Trump. We're not. The whole stream's not gonna be about Trump. The whole stream is not gonna be about Trump for the rest of it. All right, one more Trump question. That's it. Then we're moving on. No more Trump questions. Because, like I said, we're not gonna become fucking Farron Cousins show. Okay, that's not gonna fucking happen. Or we're not gonna become Kyle Kalinske. That's not gonna happen. The fact that how they literally treat Donnie as a fucking deity and not some human being for the better part of it, just no. Again, you see the media will do that with any fucking candidate. Doesn't matter which one it is. But I'm gonna say this, and then moving on. After that, I'm done talking about Trump. I only was talking about the tourism numbers and everything else, but after that, enough. I made my position clear, and you want to see other videos I've said, you want to know my opinion on Trump and on other things, go back and watch my other videos, my other streams. You'll know right then and there. No, there's no question that Trump is a fucking bigot. He's a bigot against Muslims. He's a bigot against Mexicans. He's a bigot against Latinos. He's a bigot in general. Of course he fucking is. I think he's the biggest bigot of all. I think he's an exceptional bigot against Muslims. I think Trump's number one bigotry is Muslims. I have no question in my mind. No more credit where it's due. No, there is credit where it's due. But here's the thing. I've given Trump credit on the things before, but I honestly think his other term, at least it was stable. It's not stable now because the thing is, it's worse. That's the reason why. I can at least praise some things about Trump in the previous 4 years. But now, it's just like, now it's like he's full-blown psychopath. He's full-blown psychopath. Want to fucking take Greenland, trying to say the shit about fucking Denmark, Canada being the fucking 51st state. Get the fuck out of here. He's a fucking stupid retard. We then want to start a fucking war with Iran. He reenacts the fucking Cuba embargo, makes it even worse. Wants a fucking war with Venezuela, wants to steal their fucking oil and impoverish people. He's a fucking... Oh, and then he wants to fucking open up Gaza and build a bunch of fucking casinos in there. He's a fucking retard, dude. Wants to fucking... Because he's doing it because he's sucking fucking Netanyahu's ass. He wants to fucking build casinos in Gaza, and then that way so they can continue their fucking genocide against Palestinian children. So, yeah. I have just as many problems with him as I did with Biden and all the others. So, the only reason I'm being more vehement about it is because it's going on today. I can at least give Trump some credit on some things from the previous 4 years. But this time around, I have yet to see one positive thing that fucker has done. Like I said, if there are positive things, I would give it to him. I would say, if you start making peace talks with North Korea, the DPRK, you start doing that again, I'll be okay. I'll be okay with that. No, because an impeachment wouldn't just apply to him. There's other criminals that are in there too. I don't want to be one-sided. Can't just impeach Trump when there's other fucking criminals in there. Yes, I do believe in impeachment. But you got to get all of them fucking out. That's what you got to do. You got to impeach them all. I would fucking clear house. I would do a fucking corruption purge of the Democrats. I would have Kamala Harris. I'd have Biden. I'd have Nancy Pelosi. I'd have Kathy Hochul. Oh, don't get me started on my fucking stupid idiotic governor. We all know how I feel about her. I'd have her taken out in fucking handcuffs. I'd have those assholes taken out in fucking handcuffs. I'd build a penal colony for fucking corrupt officials. Oh, don't even get me started on that. I would get a fucking, and yes, I put Trump in there, I put JD, I put all them in there, I put Satan Yahoo in there. Yep, Clinton, Biden, yep, Bush, the Bushes, the scum that are still living, all them. Let's see, fucking scumbag pulled out. Oh, I'd put Lindsey Graham in that fucking one. You kidding me? Tom Cotton, oh, he's going in there too. Scumbag, that piece of shit, he's going in there too. They're all going in there, bro. They're all fucking going in there. I'm going to make sure that they all go in there. I'll make sure that they all fucking go in there. I'd send all the fucking corrupt politicians in there. And then not only that, Musk would go in there too. And then not only that, freeze his fucking bank account and then take 99% of his fucking wealth and then redistribute it throughout the United States of America. Then just do fucking wealth redistribution. That would be fucking awesome. A guy can dream, right? No, that's why the DPRK is fucking based. Oh yeah, Tulsi should go in there too. Tulsi admits to supporting fucking war crimes. Oh yeah, Obama, Mr. fucking drone striker. Pence is a warmonger. Bro, you're not gonna go down an entire list. We'd be here all fucking night. We'd be here till next Thursday. Okay? Tulsi garbage! Tulsi garbage wants to act like she's fucking anti-war, but then she says, oh, let's defeat those big bad evil Muslims and everything else. She's all supportive of the Zionists and everything. Oh, Tulsi's trash, bro. She's a fucking sellout. Tulsi's a fucking sellout if I've ever seen one. The worst. She's all up in favor. Oh, she's all up fucking Modi's ass in India. And look, I'm going to tell you right now, Modi in India is a fucking Zionist cocksucker. That's why I was so glad when Pakistan won. It's a shame because I love and respect Indian. I love and respect Indian culture and everything else. I think India's great. Like I honestly have a lot of respect. I've met and worked with several Indian people. They're some of the nicest, hardworking people ever. Like Indian people are some of the nicest, hardworking people I have ever met. I've ever worked with. But the only problem I have with India is Modi. Like, Modi is a fucking Zionist cocksucker. This group anonymous is now full-blown warmonger and shitload. Why can't Trump get Biden? Yeah, we should all put them in there. That's what we should all do. Oh, my God. Yeesh. Can we put Bernhard and Jill Stein in there as well? Well, Jill Stein I wouldn't necessarily put in there, but Bernhard can. Jill Stein is all right. I don't have any issues with her. So, Why, have you heard anything about Jill Stein? I was disappointed in a couple things she was saying. I'm not going to put her in a camp. She's more anti-war than fucking Bernie is. Do the same thing, but to another side? Yeah. Smile for the camera, retards. Yeah, why don't you do that? Smile for the camera. Smile for the camera, retards. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do that, or what? Exactly. Have a fucking smile for the camera. That's why I'm trying to get some Red Bull in. Get at least a little bit more energy up in here. Encourage Israelis to explore their own country and support local businesses. Yeah, they fucking should. They should build their own wall and stay the fuck inside. And leave their fucking neighbors alone and stop genociding them and just go fuck off and leave everyone else a fucking alone. Just go fuck off from the rest of the world and stay the fuck inside, piss Israelis. Your thoughts on the vax as of right now? Which one are you talking about? The COVID one? Well, we all know what happened when I talked about certain things with vaccines, and we all know one of my other episodes was shut down was destroyed by fucking YouTube censorship and banned across the globe. So I've had several episodes that were destroyed by fascist YouTube censorship. So that's another one that was banned around the world. It was, I think it was episode, what was it? It was episode like 21 or 22 of this series that got shut off for like fucking vaccine misinformation. So I can't really talk about it all that much. I would. I think a lot of that stuff was just a way to show how corrupt and authoritarian a lot of these fucking governments were. There's no question in my mind about a lot of that stuff. It's not really. Fuck off. Hell yeah! Yeah, build your own fucking wall and stay the fuck inside, you fucking cocksuckers. You wanna be... Hey, Israel, you wanna be loyal to your own country? Good. Build your own wall, build your own apartheid wall, and stay the fuck inside, you fucking jackasses. What I have to fucking say on that stuff. Fence those motherfuckers off from the rest of the world. Or better yet, you know where we ought to ship them? Ship them to fucking Drake Passage. That's where we ought to send them. We ought to send them to fucking Drake Passage. But then again, why would I want to do that? Alright, that's enough Trump talk. Enough. We're moving on. We're moving on from that. I'm reached the limit. Yeah, Walls is, yeah, no, he's gotta go. 99% of people in fucking Congress, bro. You're not missing anybody else with regards to that. I don't know, dude. Like I said, we're moving on from that. We're not talking about that no more. I'm not even interested in talking about 2020, January 6th, all that stuff. No. Over and done with. I'm not even interested in even talking about it. There is no proof. There never has been and there never will be. It's just another dumbass Trump talking point, and I've said it 1,000 times, and I'm not saying it another 1,000 more times in the future. So, it's just, like I said, we can have a little bit of talk when it comes to that, but, like, again, I would not have the whole stream be 99% talking about Democrats. No. If I felt people were talking about Democrats too much, I'd be like, okay, let's, move on. I'm not gonna spend the entire stream talking about 99% of one topic. Because I'm not to be rude or anything, but I just don't operate that way. Penn should cease to exist. I mean, he pretty much has ceased to exist, bro. He's not even fucking relevant. I mean, have you even fucking heard anything from that retard? Have you even heard anything from that fucking closeted evangelical fucking retard? No. You haven't fucking heard anything about him. Can't say the word, yeah. Okay, I get it. I fucking hate the piece of shit, but I don't want that. I mean, yeah. It's literally just, dude, trust me, bro. Yeah, it's like fucking, dude, I'm exhausted, dude. Like Stephen Asante's father being like, dude, I'm exhausted, dude. Just trust me, bro. I'm tired. I don't know. That's what it is. In fact, they ought to put fucking Stephen Asante in the fucking Oval Office. He'd be more competent than half these motherfuckers. Hey, I got news for all of you. You know how this show is like a fucking circus, right? Well, you know, you all know how I'm a fucking crazy guy and I rant and rave like a lunatic, right? Now, don't I represent a lot of things, like a lot of crazy things and whatnot, right? At the same time, I'm speaking how I feel on the issues, and I talk about the fucking facts, whether anyone likes it or not. Yeah? But the thing is, we're all a crazy show up in here. And even we would be less of a fucking circus than the White House. Both in the past and in the present. All of us, me and all of them. Hey, here's the difference. I admit that I'm a ranting, crazy, fucking raging lunatic. Okay, I admit that. But at least I didn't run for public office, okay? That's the thing. Hey, that's the funny thing. But the thing is, at least I didn't run for office. Because I got self-awareness. Politicians, self-awareness, don't even use that in the same fucking sentence. Ever. I don't even know what the fuck I'm even going about. I mean, Corrado, you said it yourself. You said I lost my mind a long time ago, right? I lost my mind a long time ago, right? I mean, the difference is yeah. Because I would build that fucking penal colony. I'd build a fucking penal colony exclusively for corrupt officials. Yes, of course you do. I'm just saying about how crazy this show is, but the difference is we at least didn't run for fucking office, and yet we're still less of a circus. As much of a circus as the show is, we're not a circus like the White House. I mean, you'll never be like the fucking White House. I mean, don't get me fucking started on that. No one would ever be a bigger circus than the Zionist entity or the U.S. Empire. Or anywhere or just anywhere there's occupations and anything else. God, so I have to fucking charge my laptop again. I just charged it 2 hours ago. So I'm telling you, dude, that they make technology deliberately weak. So that way, you have to buy a new battery in like fucking 2 years or something. It's just like they make it that way fucking deliberately. So I'm supposed to do a talk with Flame later. Politicians, not so much, if anything, self-awareness. It's already become one of the most neglected traits known to man. Oh yeah, not just from politicians, but although politicians tend to have less self-awareness than anybody on the fucking planet. Fucking whales and fucking Drake Passage and Cape Horn have more self-awareness than those fucking morons. Unless you're Amy Schumer, a fucking whale. Sorry for insulting whales. Or unless you're Whoopi Goldberg, who's a fucking whale. Oh, go fake, right? Yeah, no. By the way, if JB the fucking hubba prick, JB prick decides to run with fucking AOC, that would be just outstanding. Retarded. So yeah, if I had to live anywhere in the world, it would either be Aruba, Belize, or maybe Guyana. Or Chile. Or maybe Chile. Chile is really nice too. I like to live on like the northern coast. Or maybe like somewhere down like where it's like maybe like near where Easter Island is. Because it's kind of like Mediterranean, oceanic climate in those areas. I would have loved to have gone to Argentina, but they currently also have a psychopath Zionist cocksucker that's running them, Javier Milei. And I love how these fucking neocon libertarians are all fucking behind him and everything. And I'm just like, no, he's not even fucking center right, you dumbasses. That's not even the fucking case. Like fucking Javier Milei is on the side of fucking piss rail. He's on the side of piss rail. And he's not even like a responsible fiscal conservative like Charlie Baker or Kelly or something. Like, no. Like, Javier Milei is actually cutting into things that is actually good for people. That is actually needed for people, like healthcare, hospital budgets, and homeless shelters and food banks. Yeah, Javier Milei is actually doing that. He actually caused poverty in Argentina to go to like its highest level in fucking 30 years. So, I mean, Argentina's had problems for a great number of years, but Javier Milei obviously just made it worse. He made it 50 billion times worse and not better. Oh, let's not forget this one. Evo Morales in Bolivia, Evo Morales called him out, said Javier Milei is a scumbag for the suffering he's caused Argentinians. And he's right. Luis Arce and him had a big falling out. And it's kind of a shame, though, because I actually did put a lot of trust in Luis Arce and everything. Oh, no. Luis Arce is still 50 million way ahead of the genocidal scumbag that was in office, that was backed by the CIA and by Mossad, Janine Inez, who's in prison, and she should be in prison for fucking life, no parole, because she was genociding her fucking political opponents. I've done a lot of coverage on that, 2022, 2023, and whatnot. But Evo Morales was 100% right to say that about Javier Milei. Because, oh no, Javier Milei has taken Argentina down a very bad path. And the numbers reflect it too. Because Javier Milei is just making it worse. He's making it worse and not better. He's the worst neocon that Argentina has seen since the U.S.-backed dirty war 50 years ago or something. It's that bad at this point. It's literally that bad at this point for them. Let me see if I can find it, because I was able to find the article and translate it to Spanish. Sup, Rakiru? Because I actually did see the article here. I actually did translate it into Spanish. I remember seeing it from Evo Morales. Oh, Evo Morales was one of the best leaders ever. You know what? Like, I'm telling you right now, that fucking political persecution of him is so ridiculous. They need to lift that ban on him and let him fucking run again. It's obvious that people want him. Bolivia was in the best fiscal state it was ever in when Evo was in office. In Bolivia was in the best fiscal state ever when Evo Morales was when President Evo Morales was president, when he was president. It's just like look at Ecuador right now. Look at the CIA-backed fucking coup in Ecuador. Look at that U.S.-backed puppet from Miami. I mean, just look at that one from Ecuador. And Mexico said they're not going to have any relations with him because they know he's a fucking CIA puppet. And good for them. Good for them. Oh, I love Mexico, and I've gained more respect for Mexico in a lot in recent times. Yeah, this guy right here, Daniel Noba, is a CIA fucking puppet. Okay, why is he dressed like fucking Zelensky? It's like, hey, now he's there with fucking Macron? Are you serious? He's selling his country out, dude. He's totally a CIA puppet. There's no question in my mind about that. Unfucking believable. and they cooed him, and they fucking cooed. They basically cooed the real president, Rafael Correa. They cooed him from fucking office. And then they had a bunch of neoliberals that were committing crimes against humanity against Ecuadorian indigenous people. It's like, we've seen this again and again. We've seen this time and time again. We've seen this in Brazil we've seen this in Brazil. We've seen this in Bolivia. We saw this with Janine Áñez. We've seen this with Sebastián Pinera. Oh, by the way, Sebastián Pinera is dead. May he fucking rot in hell. We also saw this with Janine Áñez, who was genociding indigenous people and her opponents, and Javier Milei, who's completely unethical and puts his foot in his mouth at every opportunity, and he can't argue worth shit. He can't argue economic policy worth shit. And then there's Jair Bolsonaro, who's a total bigot and a war criminal. I mean, Jair Bolsonaro and Javier Milei are both bigots and warmongers, all backed by the fucking CIA and by Mossad. There's no question in my mind. So anyway, wow, I really went on a fucking tangent there. So, this is what Evo Morales said. Let's see if it'll... Hold on. Let's see if it'll translate. Daniel No Brain is a loser. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, he's a fucking puppet, bro. Javier Milei is also a fucking scumbag, too. Okay, so here's what it says. Evo Morales criticized Javier Milei for stripping him of his refugee status. He's trying to distract from the economic crisis. Every insult that comes from people like Milei is a sign that we are on the right path. Hell to the yes. A distraction from a serious economic crisis. Yes, the economic crisis that he fucking caused. So, once again, Evo Morales is 100% right. I mean, don't get me wrong, Louis R.K. is a million times better. Louis R.K. is a million times better than Janine Áñez. No fucking question in my mind about that one, but Evo needs to do another term. Like, maybe just get another, I don't know, maybe there's a way you can do it. I mean, I don't know, but just saying, guys, we all know Bolivia was in its glory days. Yeah, Daniel No Brain is a fucking, I think that is his name. Like, I'm not even fucking kidding. That probably is his name. Nobody. I almost thought that was his fucking name for a minute. Yeah, he has fucking no brain. And Nayib Bukele, fuck him too. Fuck him too. He's just one of Trump's fucking puppets. Sending people there with fucking no due process or anything. Imagine saying Ecuador has opened a U.S. military taking control of crackdowns on illegal operations. What a scumbag. He's totally a fucking sellout. What a fucking sellout. That's the thing with these neocons, bro. They sell out their fucking countries to these big Western powers. It's pathetic. And that's the reason why. That's the reason why they bully countries that stand up to their bullshit. And that's why the U.S. empire runs each and every time some country in Latin America and beyond stands up to them. It's literally a repeat of the past. And if you don't know your fucking history, you're doomed to repeat it. Trust me. So, yeah. Me going off there like a lunatic about that stuff, but yeah. shit loads of January 6th arrangements in them. Yeah, exactly. Dude, I'm so sick of hearing about it. Which January 6th was just a repeat of what the U.S. empire has been doing to Latin America and the Middle East and beyond for the past several fucking generations. It's like, I don't give a fuck. Entertain it to me all you want, but I'm not going to fucking sit here and listen to it. Because I don't believe in it. Now time to go do some little game action here for a bit. Hey, Racky, we can do a call for a bit, but then I'm going to hop on with my other friend when he comes on. Let's check the audio again. Alright, so I'm going to recheck the audio again. Oh yeah, and I fucking hate EA for getting rid of fucking Flash. It was one of the stupidest things those fucking people did. So remember to like and share the stream, everybody. I'm gonna tell him. Alright, I told Flame Liberation 9:30 is a good time for me, so. Probably just gonna do it in here tonight. Chat up like what's up, Rocky? How you doing?
Doing good, man. How are you?
Right over here.
That's good, man.
Get the fuck in the chat, bro. I'm trying to fill out. What the fuck? Come on. Oh, turns out it was over here. The hell's it doing all the way over there? It's fucking weird, but okay. I don't know, actually, you know what? Maybe it would be a little more convenient to have it more on the side over here. Actually, I think that would actually be I think actually that would be a good position over there. So, I'm sure you would agree with me on this, right, bro? Would you agree with me that fucking EA is absolute fucking trash now?
I think it's always been trash.
But I think it especially went to the point of no return when they decided to fuck it over and say we're not gonna support Flash anymore. Like that was ridiculous.
That sounds like something. Did they do that a long time ago, or is this recent?
I think it was a while ago, but it's just like because I've gone back and I've watched like old games I used to play that I can't play now because they don't support Flash anymore because it's so fucking stupid. It's like, oh yeah,
It
remember
is.
the days I used to be able to play that? Oh, but no, I can't because they got rid of fucking Flash and they said, oh, but there's a reason why they.
Yeah, man. I'm assuming we're talking about these like Flash game websites that you can go on.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, man. I used to go on those all the time. There's this website I used to go on called Most Fun Games, and they had stuff like there's this ragdoll game that basically has this ragdoll person falling on bubbles. It was kind of funny.
Bro, I used
And
to. Same. Games like that.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, and soundboards from TV shows.
Yeah. There were things like that I would play. And like I would play like there would be games I'd play like Texas Hold'em poker on there, Canasta, and all that. It was like old Scrabble games to play off the old websites before. And of course, there was all like dice games or a bunch of like dice games online and everything.
Oh yeah.
But there were a bunch of bingo games because I'll admit I actually do love bingo. I don't know. Bingo's always been my thing. I've always enjoyed bingo games and everything.
Yeah.
And it's just they said, yeah, but it's because of a hack, because they keep the because of the ditch and the that and that. No, it's so you can make this other fucking digital garbage on shit that's not even fucking halfway good.
Right.
Just so they can profit off of their other fucking dog shit. I don't know, dude. That's how I fucking see it.
They probably want to make shittier versions of those Flash games and sell them to you.
That's just it, dog. That's what happens.
Yeah.
I've actually been saying that for a long time, actually.
I'm actually curious if that website is still up. Probably not, but it's worth a look at. Most fun game. Nope. Nope. Not there. Yeah, I'm literally clicking on most fun games, and it says origin is unreachable. Error code 523. Whatever the fuck that even means.
I don't even know. I don't
know either.
EA more like EF. Oh yeah, totally. I honestly I have had issues with them, but I think once they got rid of Flash, I'm gonna make a fucking rant about that at some point.
EA stands for eat ass.
Yeah, exactly. And not the good kind of ass.
Nope. Dirty kind.
Yeah.
What a shame.
No, not good. Fucking David Hogg has officially been removed as vice chair of the DNC. Oh my god. You fucking. Oh my god. I ate a
Well,
drink.
we're on the subject.
Office was Zach's #1 favorite show. Oh, get the fuck out of here. Yeah. The day that'll happen, never.
Wait, what? The Office.
I don't know what the fuck you were thinking.
Ain't that show that Steve Carell's on?
Did EA used to be good? I don't know. I mean, not really, but at least when the Flash games were around, it used to actually be halfway decent. There were at least some good things I could say. There are some good things I could say about them, like back in the day.
I think the only EA game I played was Need for Speed Underground.
I always played the ones online, and those were always my favorites.
Nice.
No, they just couldn't fucking leave it alone, could they?
No.
No, so they could just make a bunch of shit for like 3-year-olds or something, and I don't even think 3-year-olds. No. Like, fuck that shit, dog.
Yeah, quit playing Flash games and buy Madden 400 million.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like, I don't give a shit. I would actually bring Flash. I often imagine what it'd be like if The Office wasn't super boring. Oh my god, dude, the fucking Office puts me to sleep. You know, I fucking stand that shit.
I had an ex-girlfriend that tried to get me into that show, and I couldn't take it.
I also hate
I don't like that.
Yeah, I hate it too.
I don't like that kind of humor.
Humor? What humor? What fucking humor is in it anyway?
Oh yeah, you're right.
What fucking humor is it anyway? A bunch of fucking stupid nerds sitting around the fucking office and talking about a bunch of shit. Hey man, here's my coffee. Oh, I spilled it all over my wife's coochie last night, so now I'm gonna come in here and I gotta tell you guys about it.
Oh my god, what'd you say? I spilled coffee on my girlfriend's coocher. Wait, what'd you?
I said I spilled coffee.
Is that what you just said?
I spilled coffee on my wife's coochie last night.
Bro, you stupid.
Yeah, but this is the real me. I have no fucks to give.
Oh, I know. That's why I subscribe to you.
Exactly. Zach actually like outrageous. No, you guys never had these dreams. You're just fucking with me now. You guys actually had these dreams that I have no idea what was wrong with any of you. No, there is no fucking way. Alright, tell me right now, you guys didn't actually have those dreams about me. Or did you? So playing those Flash games from the late 2000s for a bunch of bugs and glitches, it's a simple life. Yeah, exactly, bro, but you know what? It was fun times. Okay? It was still fun times. Yes, I know the fucking glitches and the bugs and shit used to fucking aggravate me, but I didn't care. Okay? It was still life, okay? It was still a simpler life than the fucking shit they're giving us now. I still... You know what? Maybe I'm losing my mind. Maybe I'm sounding like a fucking... Like, you remember the time? Hey, Tyler, remember the time when I'd be like a fucking 87-year-old man, I'd be fucking ready to take my medication or something, if I actually... And I'd be like, Tyler, remember the time when Flash games were a thing? Like, why can't they...
Yes.
Why can't they...
Oh, man.
Like, why can't it be a thing anymore?
I agree with you. I remember when I would go on this website, and I would even go on CartoonNetwork.com and play those Flash games based on the TV shows.
Me too. You know, I used to play Texas Hold'em poker out there all the time and everything. But like, why can't we have that back? You know, the old times were so much better. You know, I'm just saying.
I'm sick and tired of all these Madden games. Madden 4 million.
I am too. I'm sick of this generation. These generation of these lazy minds. I got dream. Nope, I dreamed of slapping Javier Milei with a hot skillet. Yeah, they truly were the best. Life was truly all well and good back then, 2006 to 13, roughly. Bro, I remember in my years in college, I was playing them in 2014, 18. Dude, even up until fucking 2020. I played them up until like the very end, just about.
Oh, yeah. Man, them were the good old days.
Rose wins Comment Pin Award tonight. Yeah.
Speaking of terrible gaming news, have you heard what Nintendo's doing right now?
Yeah, I actually heard it from a good friend of mine actually. Good friend of mine that were hanging out on Saturday actually, and he said something about the Nintendo was gonna be like $500 fucking dollars or something.
That's not the news I was talking about, but yeah, that too.
Oh yeah, I know you might. Well, that was the thing I heard. What was the other thing that you heard?
Nintendo made an update to where if you try to mod your Switch, they can just brick your console to the point where you can't use it anymore.
What the fuck?
Yep. So if you try to mod it, you can't even though you bought the Switch, you can't use it anymore. Like it probably, I guess it won't turn on, or I don't know. I don't know what they're doing, but you can't use it anymore if you try to mod it. So yeah, fuck Nintendo.
Oh yeah, no. I was thinking about buying a Nintendo, but you know what? Now, fuck them. I want nothing to do with them. What a bunch of greedy motherfuckers.
They really are, man. I mean, they're fucking charging you what, like $500 for the Switch 2 itself. They're charging $80 to $90 for a game. Not to even mention the fact that if you want Switch Online, you have to pay like a $50 to $60 yearly service.
Dude, what the?
Then there's this fucking camera they want you to buy. That's like $50.
Are you fucking serious? They actually want you to buy a camera for $50 fucking dollars?
I'm not sure if it's 50, but I know it's around there.
Yeah, but I'm sure it's like
more than 20.
Probably is worth like 20, right?
I don't even think it's worth 20. I mean, I've seen the footage of them, like, of the actors in Nintendo using it, and it's like it has a very, very low frame rate.
Huh.
It's like 3 frames per second.
Because I mean, I'd love to hear what you have to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's fucking dog shit. I made videos about it already, but I can talk about it some more here.
Feel free. Some topics for the airtime. Go right ahead.
Yeah, and fucking they're also having it to where they're putting GameCube games on Switch Online too, which they should have fucking done with the original Switch. First of all, and second, I have these games. I don't need to pay a service just to. I don't want to pay a monthly or yearly service just to play these games.
Facts.
I'd rather just buy them and own them forever. or play them for free on Dolphin. I mean, what? What? I didn't say nothing. Dolphin? What's that? Of course, they made it to where it's gotten harder to download free games now. So
that was actually one of the reasons I actually saved up a good enough amount of money over the years where I could have perfectly bought a Nintendo Switch, and I was actually going to. But now that I hear that, and now it's harder to download. What did you say? Harder to download free games now? Is that what you said?
Yep.
Yeah, not wasting my time. And if
there was this website
I'd have to go get really rich.
For real, man. There was this website I used to go on all the time, and Nintendo last year sent the owners of that website a cease and desist letter, to where if they don't take down the ROMs on their website, they get sued. Now I can't download. Like, I'm glad I downloaded all these games that I wanted when I did, because fucking hell, man.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea you did it when you did.
Yeah. I basically have almost every GameCube game I ever wanted and never cared about.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. I'm saying the same thing. Nintendo's gone weird, especially since Switch 2. Yeah, exactly. I don't understand it. Why? I don't understand any of that.
I don't know, man. Hell, they were even taking down ROM sites when the Switch 1 came out. I remember. You remember Silent Rob made a video discussing about that shit.
Oh yeah. Oh, of course. Before he lost his mind.
Yeah, before he went insane and started talking shit about kids.
Yeah.
It really sucks, man. I really wish I can still support him and stuff, but that I just can't get over. The fact that he was talking a child.
Yeah, that's lower than fucking low. That's why I never deal with him again. I can't. Yeah. Oh, you want to know something? I'm not even here because I'm not even interested in talking about the fucker all that much. But I will say this: I saw a channel that uploaded all of his old stuff, like even like his raw pissed as fuck, or like the 2009 Rob episode where like he said, "Kiss my ass" about the fucking $5 and all that other shit. But you know what's crazy? They are not even cracking 200 or 300 views. So many of them, I'd say 50 to 60% of them have under 100 views. Nobody is watching this guy anymore. They are done.
I know, dude. It's crazy.
All of his re-uploads have like 50, 60 views, some maybe 120 views. Like when these videos had tens of thousands of views, hundreds of thousands in some cases. But now
yeah,
they're
man.
not even cracking 300 views in like 99% of the cases.
I know, it's insane. Like, you would think even like that's bad. That's the amount of views that I get when I upload shit. Because you would think this motherfucker would be cracking at least 1,000.
Yeah, but like I said, even the people that re-upload aren't even. No, that just goes to show that Rob can never come back from what had happened. He just can't.
No.
He nuked it all for $8 fucking and tried to fucking falsely dox people and do stupid shit like that and all that bullshit, all that stuff. So nope, there's no way you can come back from that. And it just goes to show. It just goes to show. I mean, all the re-uploads about him. You know why? Because no one wants to ever watch him again. They can't even watch him and look at him the same again. I know I can't.
I can barely rewatch some of his. Like, I mean, I could still rewatch some of his stuff, but I don't know. I think after like minute 7, I'm just like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah. There's only one thing that I can listen to and I can still think is fucking funny. There's only one thing. I'll make one exception. The call he did with fucking Boo Kitty. That's the only thing I can think is funny. You took advantage of a vulnerable situation, Rob. Okay, that's what I did. That
Yep,
is a
I
coward.
did.
Yeah, that one is. Is there anything
He's like,
else?
I don't know. I must have fucked your brother or something. What are you
Oh
talking
yeah, that's
about?
right.
You're
I'm
an
gonna
idiot.
fuck your dad. I can't remember. Or your brother. What are you talking? You're an idiot. You're an idiot.
You're an idiot. That's how you sound, Rob.
That's how you sound like. Hey, I forgot to ask you about Chris Critty got taken down. Nice try on that one. What are you talking about? I don't even know, man. I don't even know who Crispy Critty is. Yeah, I thought it was you. You thought it was me. Bro, I was in like fucking middle school when that happened.
I can't remember what grade I was in when he started making videos, but I discovered him when I was in high school.
I discovered him in 2013.
Yeah, that sounds about right for me.
Yeah.
I discovered his like the very first video I've seen was his GameStop rant.
First video I ever saw him was the rant on the Three Stooges movie.
Oh, I remember that one. That one was awesome.
Oh yeah, that movie was so fucking stupid. You really think you can take the fucking Three Stooges and reenact it again? Fuck no. You can't. Every time they do it, it fucking falls apart. No, it can't be done. No.
Yeah, man, it's just not the same.
No. And you all know it's not. They can't. It's not ever gonna happen.
It's like the movie's being made by people who have no idea what the Three Stooges is even about, or or like don't like. It's like they have no idea like how their humor is supposed to work or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised that they put Snooki in the movie. I was like, yeah, no.
I could not believe they put fucking Snooki. You mean from fucking Jersey Shore?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that show's so fucking funny.
I remember when she was a thing.
Yeah, I remember. Oh, Snooki! Oh my god, I want to stick my face in Snooki's tits. Oh my god! The fuck, yo?
Snooki wants smears.
Snooki wants it. Like,
oh shit.
That is so dumb.
Other bit of Sony trying to sell their PS5 Pro with a disc port for $800. Yeah, dude, fuck Sony, man. Yeah, that's even worse.
Yeah, that's the worst part about it. Is right.
Ah, yeah, man.
I don't know, dude. I just never got into it. I never thought it was funny or good.
Same here.
And I'm a fucking sucker for certain reality shows, okay? I'll give you an example. My favorite reality show of all time, I became a fan of it when I was in middle school. Operation Repo was the funniest fucking shit ever. I remember when I first saw it when I was like 13 or 14 or something, I was dying of fucking laughter of it. It was so amazing.
Operation Repo?
Yeah. Oh my god. Bro. Operation Repo is so fucking funny. I highly recommend you check it out. It was on the air from like 2007 to like 30. It was on for like a good decade at least. You know, ended on a good note, but oh, it's so fucking funny.
I'm actually Googling it right now. I guess I'll just look at Wikipedia. Well, no. I'll just look at images. Was it on MTV?
It was on True TV.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god, that show was so fucking funny.
Yeah, I've completely well, I've given up on gaming pretty much 99% of it. The only thing I'm looking forward to now is Grand Theft Auto 6. If
Yeah, same
and if
here.
that game, yeah, and if that game isn't good, then like I'm never buying a new game again. Like I'm really close to just saying fuck any new game forever for the rest of my life. I'm just sick of the bullshit, man.
Same here. Yeah, same
Also,
here. It's like,
console.
why would I want to waste my fucking money? Spits. I don't know why I'd want to waste my fucking money.
It's just it's too expensive, man.
Yep.
500 to 800 bucks for a console. Now possibly $80 for a game. Who knows if Sony and Xbox is going to do the same thing Nintendo's doing?
Right.
Um, the games that come out aren't that great. They're either mediocre at best or just like broken, glitchy, woke, and gay at worst.
Mm-hmm. There's only like, and the only games that I really even buy nowadays are like the deals on the PS5 store. That's about it. And I dig really closely, and I always do like the free trials to make sure that I actually like it, and to make sure it's
Oh,
actually
same.
halfway.
Same here.
Hey, even if it's a deal off and it's like 20 something dollars, like still, I'm not gonna waste that. I'm not gonna waste my money on it if it turns out to be shit or it doesn't work.
Yeah. That's all I ever did. Even when I had a PS3, uh, I would just wait for games to go on sale because there's no way I'm paying $60.
Yep.
The only game, the o- the only games that I think are worth $60 was Grand Theft Auto 5 when it first came out, and Red Dead 2 when it first came out. That's it.
Yep.
What
And
were you gonna say?
I'm the type of guy. I play GTA 5, but I play GTA 5 because I love GTA 5 online. That's my shit. That's really the only
I
thing.
I tried to love it. I really did. Like I mean, I love certain parts about it. What I can't stand is the fact that you have to have other people to do heists.
No, actually, no, because GTA 5 online, whenever I play it, every single time I play it, I don't play against anybody.
Like I'm not talking about playing against other people. I'm saying like if you want to play one of the heists, like if you want to rob a bank or something, you have to have three other players to play with you, because you can't do these heists by yourself.
Rob a bank. What, if you play GTA 5 online?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Because every time I play it, I can rob and go and rob anything I want, and no one's around with me. Maybe it's just a different. I don't know. No, actually, no, because I take things like I like taking the bus. I also love just standing in front of fucking traffic and having everyone fucking honking and shit.
I mean, you can rob these little stores like gas stations and whatnot, but that's about it.
I actually haven't been able to do that yet.
What, rob a gas station?
No, at least in the
Oh
online.
yeah, you.
At least in the
Oh yeah,
online.
that's the only thing you can do by yourself.
Yeah, I play it because I just I don't know. I just like doing my own thing with it. I kind of more prefer games where you can just do your own thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
actually,
same.
I did buy. I actually do have the other GTA's. I bought GTA 3 and 4. I actually downloaded them and I play those occasionally. I have those on on my PS5 actually.
I have those too. I beat Grand Theft Auto 3 maybe like 6 or 7 different times.
Oh. Anyone remember
It's
GTA
a fun
fucking
game.
GTA San Andreas Hot Coffee mod? Yeah, that one was fun. Yeah, that's
Oh yeah, I never got to play it.
oh yeah, because then you say your parents didn't like want you to play too, like upper tier.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they would never let me play. They would let me play like anything else. They would let me play Call of Duty, Resident Evil, Dead Rising, whatever M-rated game there was, except GTA.
Wow. My parents didn't fucking care what I played or watched at a certain point. Once I turned, but even then they didn't care. Bro, I remember watching South Park when I was like fucking 8 years old or some shit. They didn't care.
Oh yeah,
I knew all
yeah.
those. I knew every word. I knew everything they were saying then anyway. I knew. I knew it. But I wasn't the type of kid to go around and fucking repeat shit.
I kind of was, but, but yeah, I mean, then they still let me play. They still let me watch South Park and Family Guy. It's
Crazy.
just GTA. They did not want me to touch. And I think it was because my dad was a security guard. Um, and he worked night shift at a prison, and he had to watch inmates and put up with their stupid shit.
Yeah, I think I
So you
remember.
can imagine.
Yeah, I think I remember you telling me.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I guess because my dad knew nothing about games, I guess he was just afraid I was going to turn into a degenerate criminal if I play those games.
Yeah, I think I remember you telling me that.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on?
No son of mine's going to be a gangbanger.
I think my parents were even more happy that I was gay because they never had to worry about me getting a fucking girl pregnant.
Yeah, well, yeah. That's how my parents felt about my brother.
Oh, your
Like,
brother's
well,
gay?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
I got 2 brothers.
Two brothers, one is gay.
Yep.
Cool.
Like, well, at least we don't
Sick.
have to worry about him getting a girl pregnant.
Yeah, it's pretty true.
Unlike Racky over here.
Yeah, yeah. Unlike Tyler over here, who we gotta worry about him.
They didn't have to worry about me that much. I wasn't very good with women, at least for the most part. But I'm married, so I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, exactly. If you find someone that you know, then hey, look at you now, you know.
Yeah.
And look, one more thing I want to say about this. I actually did go back and see that, but is it true that Rob actually did Ani actually fucking leave him? I heard that from another friend of mine actually.
Oh yeah, yeah. She left, and I think well, what happened was she was cheating on him. Hell, I mean, Asa made a video about it, uh, like the day after we were on the phone with each other, because I talked to him over Discord, and he actually showed me the evidence before he posted it on his channel. It's like,
Well,
yeah, look, he's
wow.
like, look at this, man. Like, look what the shit Ani posts on her TikTok or whatever. I was like, what? No, she's fucking like posting shit like, oh, I can't wait to see who my future lover is or whatever. I'm like, what? The fuck is and I get in, Rob says that that's the reason why he's been acting really crazy for the past few months.
Oh, good lord. Yeah, of course, it's always someone else's fucking fault. Yeah, I recommend you
Yeah.
play GTA Rose. I bet you'd like it. I recommend it to you, man.
I mean, I understand to a certain degree, but it doesn't really give you. It's not a very good reason to shit talk Ace's kid.
Yeah, okay. I've been in some very bad relationships myself, but I've never went chat talk about other fucking kids. That's low as shit.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
There's no excuse for that. and he threw it all fucking away. He threw it all away for what?
I'm actually mad he threw it all away. Like, man, I would love to have a channel like that and have a community where we just hang out and talk video games.
Well, you know what? I know I'm not anything close to that, but at least now, you got that with me.
Hell
You know,
yeah.
I'm not trying to be self-aggrandizing or nothing, but yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what was it called? Is it just me or somehow 29-year-old Joe Biden looking more mid to late 30s or early for what the fuck? I don't even know what you're even referencing, dog.
29-year-old Joe Biden. What?
I don't know. Corrado is our random fan in here who likes to say random shit and ask random questions. That's kind of just his thing. That's our
Does he ask
Corrado.
a lot, does he ask a lot of what if questions too?
Yes, yes. Oh, all the time. Uh, Kratos the type of person who would say, "What if Zach worked at a male strip club and had a bunch of ball sacks on his face?" I don't know. Kratos that type of. He's that type of homie that would ask that question. Like, no joke.
Oh
He
shit.
would. No, he would. You know he would, Kratos. Don't deny it. You'd have a bunch of dick and balls around your face, right? No, you would, bro. Time for you to confess.
Jesus Christ.
Crazy. Waiting around holding the hot dogs. No, Sean, what are we doing?
What happened?
No. Allergies. Really fucking annoying.
Damn, you still got them, huh?
I've been having them. I have them every fucking every fucking year around this time.
Yeah, same here.
What's up,
My
Matt?
allergies have actually gone away.
What's up?
I said my allergies have actually gone away
Mine last.
somehow.
Mine lasts a long fucking time.
I usually do too, but mine lasted like maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Yeah, this is probably about the fourth week for me. It's rather pathetically sad how someone went from funny, crude, cool, and informative, but unlikable jackass overall. Yeah, it is pretty fucking pathetic, dude. Yeah, it really is. It just doesn't make any sense. What was the other thing I was gonna get? Well, there's another PC game that I'm getting. I don't know, dude. I have better chances with PC games at this stage of the game.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, that's what I get. Every
I'm,
time I get those, I'm way better off when it comes to that.
I would be like PC gamer all the way if PC games didn't fuck up.
Right.
You, you know, with some games they just either don't work or they're just kind of buggy, just for whatever reason. And when you play the console version of these games, they actually run 10 times better.
That makes sense.
Maybe not, maybe not 10 times better, but better than a little better than the PC version.
Oh God, I don't even want to think about that. No, I don't want to think about that fucker shirtless. No, no, never.
I'm glad that modern PC games actually have controller support because I hate using mouse and keyboard.
Hmm. Yeah. Although because I've had the only computer I have is my laptop because that's just what I use nowadays. It's it's really the only thing. I've just got so used to it, so I just don't think it even matters to me
Yeah, I understand.
anymore. I guess it's just one of those things. Whereas I went to play
What's
in
the
the video,
latest?
but I don't have
Oh, go
the
ahead.
fortune to afford it now. What, Doom the Dark Ages? Well, yeah, dude, video games are so fucking overpriced now. They're ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm still amazed that games are 70.
Yeah, I
And now,
understand
now
both. I understand that, bro. Been there, done that. At least if
and now
you're,
they might be.
yeah, but at least if you're living with, at least if you're living with like family or something, at least it would be better.
Wait a minute.
At least you don't have to worry about going fucking. At least if you live with someone, talking to Corrado in the chat.
Oh, what's the latest game that you purchased?
I actually, well, it was digital. Um, last one I purchased was digital, and Minecraft. That's what I got.
Oh hell yeah!
I'm doing the trial on it, so I'm gonna buy it because it's on 19.99. So I'm gonna probably buy that.
Let me rephrase my question. What's the newest game that you got?
It was actually that one. It was actually Minecraft.
Really? On I'm guessing PS5.
Yep.
Of course, it had to be a port.
Or against,
What's up?
you know,
So how you know?
I wish I was doing better, but my Wi-Fi, so for some reason, my Wi-Fi decided to cut out, and now it's being stupid as hell. And now I'm not, and now I'm kind of pissed.
I don't blame you there.
Like I'm trying to connect to it, and it's like I'm putting in like the right password, and it's like telling me incorrect and shit. It's like it's telling me that I have the incorrect password. It's being really stupid.
Yeah, I sometimes my Wi-Fi can be the same fucking way sometimes.
Yeah, I think I've gone through the same crap you're going through right
I
now.
have too, especially with fucking Xfinity. Me with Xfinity,
That's exactly what I have.
like,
That's what I have.
oh
Xfinity.
yeah, bro, their prices are ridiculous. They've gone up on me like so fucking much. Like mine is now 186 fucking dollars.
Just for Wi-Fi?
Yeah. Well, Wi-Fi and a bunch of other stuff. Well, Wi-Fi and I have other things too, obviously, like Roku and all that package deal added together, like $186.
God.
Fucking Wi-Fi is so overpriced, bro. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm just trying to. I was gonna call my talking with some of my friends, and it automatically I just get kicked out of a fucking call. Well, it does the thing where it plays the noise where you leave, but it still shows me when I'm in there. I'm in the call. So
Oh yeah,
I'm just like, bro,
yeah, for fucking Discord.
I'm just like, bro, why now? You were working so fine. I mean, it's working for my brother somehow, but I don't know why it's not working for me.
I'd ask him about that for sure. Hold on, I gotta wait for Flame to send the link to me. Or unless he's gonna send it through here. So I promised him I was gonna go do a show with him. I think Karl Marx made his point out, like, money is the reason why we fight. Oh, yeah. Marx definitely understood that. He was right on that. Fuck. It'd be a mess sometimes. Yeah, it really can. Or maybe it's just a fucking Discord thing. Who knows?
I don't know. I mean, right now I'm just using mobile data, which I know isn't the best thing to do, but it's like if it works, it works.
That's what I do. I always go on fucking mobile data every time my Wi-Fi's active like a retard.
Same.
I'm just like praying, like hopefully, like I've already slept like a few. I tried sleeping earlier because for some reason that shit like made me tired, and I was like, maybe I should just sleep it off. Maybe hopefully it'll come back on or some shit. I wake up and it's still doing this shit.
That sucks, man.
Yeah.
Talk to Flame a little bit. Yep, talk about Turtle Crossing season.
Oh yeah, you see the picture I sent?
Which one?
The one in the new group chat.
Yeah, no, I saw that. That's adorable.
Yeah, I saw them when I was walking home. I saw two of them. I was like, wait, are those?
Yeah, that's
I saw like the feathers, and I saw the heads. Oh wait, I was like, oh, those are two mallards.
Yep. Yeah, they're cute. Oh,
I think they were both male because aren't the green-headed mallards male?
yeah, actually, that's true. Green. The green ones are the mallards. The females are the ones with the that are like brown.
Um,
Yeah, you fucking should. Yeah. Anyways, I actually have to go hop on another. I actually do have to pop on another call because I promised Flame Liberation I was gonna do a show with them.
all right.
I
I just wanted to pop in
Yeah, no worries.
and say hi.
Of course. Nice talking to you both, like always, and
Mm-hmm.
I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for always being here, my
All
dudes.
right. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I
No,
wish you well on
glad I
the
could be
internet
on.
connectivity, dude. I wish you well on that.
I'm hoping it comes back on for me at least.
Hope so
Yeah.
too. Hoping for the best.
Mm-hmm.
Need to talk about anything later, you just DM me.
All right, I will.
Alright. Thanks, dudes.
Mm-hmm. See you.
Alright, I'm gonna go on. Hold on, I'm gonna sign in. Well, it's from somewhere fucking. some way, somehow. I don't know how that. Not that I would want to or anything. Yeah, no, I know. Oh, trust me, I know you fucking wouldn't. Nobody does. You think anyone wants to see that? No. I the fuck sure don't want to see that. Yes, I want to accept cookies. Jesus Christ. Fucking asking me about, oh, yeah, why you accept cookies? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, I don't understand, like, why you always gonna say, oh, make sure you accept those cookies. Just gonna make sure you accept those cookies. Blah, blah. Like, no. Just fucking shut up. But they would redeem him or nothing. No, no. Nothing's gonna fucking redeem his dumbass. Alright, I am here. Alright, just waiting for Flam while we here.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, how's it going? Nice to chat with you again.
Yeah. How's everything?
Yeah, things are good over here.
Yeah.
Things good
I
over
can't stay on too long today, but I figured I'd come on for a little while.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah, figure we could squeeze. Yeah, I figure we could squeeze something in here.
Yeah. So yeah, we were talking a little bit, and I saw your stream, some of your stream yesterday, and we were talking a little bit about some stuff we could talk about today.
Yeah, and I know like one of them was thing about Kyle Kalinske was actually one of the most recent ones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know it was about that. So, but yeah, always nice to have you on because I'm always interested in having whether it's different opinions or anything like that, which I'm always down to do. But so I wanted to so like, what have you seen about Kyle Kalinske that has made it like you think like you just don't think he's that good anymore? Because haven't been a fan for quite a bit because of just that direction.
Well, it's been a little bit of a back and forth.
What I noticed.
Not a huge back and forth though, because I never was like really that pro him. But so initially during the Jimmy Dore stuff around the force the vote, that's when that's when I was pro Jimmy Dore. Jimmy Dore was a lot better back then.
Right.
And actually, no, not quite. A little bit later, I think because I think Kyle Kalinske actually supported Force the Vote.
I think he did.
A little bit,
Yeah.
but a little later, like some months later into 2021, him and Jimmy Dore had like a falling out. And around then, I basically said, I was on Jimmy Dore's side on that. And he's always like, I mean, his whole thing is he started the Justice Democrats. And the Justice Democrats, that whole project has failed. The Democrats are not going to be reformed. There isn't going to be a way to push the Democrats to the left. There isn't going to be a progressive takeover of the Democratic Party. That's not going to happen. But that's his religion. He really believes in that. He's a true believer in reforming the Democratic Party.
Yeah, and I don't think you can reform any of them. I don't think you can reform any of them.
No, neither party.
No, you just can't. They're they're so fucking far right, it's ridiculous. And I would argue that I think both of them are fucking far right. They're not moderates or anything like that have, they're not. I honestly see them as both fucking far right if you ask me.
Yeah, they certainly are both on the right. I think the Republicans, though, are definitely a lot further to the right.
Yeah, they're
because
fucking
they're,
extreme.
especially nowadays, they're pretty openly. I mean, they've always been more openly racist. The Democrats, they'll have like a diverse face to cover for the system, but still have, you know, systemic racism. But the Republicans, especially now with the Trump, I mean, they've, to give you a good example, they're getting rid of refugee status for everyone who is not white and giving refugee status to white South Africans.
Yeah.
So it's literally blatantly racist. No one can say, "Oh, it's not racist." It's openly racist. There's
Yeah.
no other way around it.
We all know that fucking Elon, the scumfuck, is behind this. I know that from the whole. I know that like from the back of my hand that fucking scumbag is actually the one who's behind that. Like, I just know it right there.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah, and then another big, I mean, there's so many things to point to. It's kind of like there's like too many things to point to show that the Republicans are openly white nationalists, white supremacists. But another big one that was so blatant was the whole thing about, oh, the Haitian immigrants are eating the cats and dogs. So it wasn't about, how they like to pretend like, oh, we're not against immigrants, we're just against illegal immigration, we're for legal immigration. Then how come you're attacking and making up complete bullshit about
Yeah, exactly.
completely legal immigrants?
Yeah, and people that are actually here that are actually doing the jobs that a lot of fucking people here would never do. That's the other
Yep.
thing. And that's the other fucking thing. My whole thing has always been just about, just regular laws like every country has on borders, all that type of stuff. Because I'm pissed off at how all the sides are doing it. The Democrats are using immigrants to their own advantage, and smuggling them and doing all that. And then you got the other side. That's obviously, we all know how they are when it comes to when it comes to fucking immigrants. We all know how that shit is. So
Yeah. But
that's
taking it back to Kyle Kalinske,
yeah.
there was a brief period where I was thinking he was starting to be more critical of the Democrats, and this was following the latest iteration of genocide in Gaza by the Zionist entity. He was getting a bit more critical of the Democrats, so it seemed like maybe he was going to improve, because at the same time also Sam Cedar and Secular Talk, who I thought was arguably in the past worse than Kyle Kalinske, him and his show Secular Talk was also getting more critical of the Democrats.
Right.
The difference is, though, I think with Sam Cedar and Secular Talk, sorry, not Secular Talk, the Majority Report, Secular Talk, that's Kyle Kalinske.
Right.
The difference between Sam Cedar and Kyle Kalinske is that I think with Sam Cedar, it actually stuck. Like the opposition to the Democrats actually stuck. Like it wasn't like in one ear out the other. They actually changed their view, which is good. I think that's very good. They've improved a lot. I'm not necessarily 100% in agreement on that with them, but their most negative aspects have improved very dramatically, I would say, as opposed to
That,
Kyle
yeah.
Kalinske.
Yeah. Imagine that.
He's like constantly.
Yeah, imagine that. But he's constantly, yeah, right? He's constantly on the side of the Democrats thinking Bernie AOC. And then I love how they act like you're on MAGA's side if you say anything against that. That's what pisses me off. Like how the fucking
Yeah.
Vanguard, like how the fucking Vanguard soy boys are doing, and doing the same thing with Kyle. They're all doing the same thing. And it's fucking crazy. If Sam Cedar is more critical of the Democrats than them, and more than fucking
Yeah.
than the fat Farron cousins as well, then oh my god, does that really speak? Everybody, I think, needs to step back and take a moment.
Well, Sam Cedar, the thing about Sam Cedar is even during his most negative periods, he wasn't stupid. He was actually smart. He actually knew what he was talking about. I think he was wrong in supporting the Democrats, but he wasn't an idiot. And that's the thing. You could be you could be wrong and an idiot. You could also be smart and be wrong.
Right.
And
I'm
a
sure
good
there's some.
example of that.
Yeah,
a good
yeah.
example of that was I don't know if you remember when Jimmy Dore had like this debate with Sam Cedar way back. I didn't follow it at the time. I found out about it later. Um, but they had a debate about if Trump wins the election, and Jimmy Dore was making Sam Cedar was making an argument as to why it was better to elect Hillary Clinton than to elect Donald Trump. And I don't agree with that argument. I don't think I think you shouldn't support either Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. But uh, Jimmy Dore like argued that there was a scenario, I forget what it was specifically, but there was this a scenario that Sam Cedar predicted could happen during Trump. And Jimmy Dore said, "Oh, well, that could happen, and then but the lake could fall. The moon could fall into Lake Michigan also." Basically saying like, "Oh, it's such a random, unlikely possibility; it's never going to happen." But it actually did happen when Trump was in office. So on that fact, like Sam Cedar was actually factually accurate in something that he predicted, and Jimmy Dore basically said, "Oh, that'll never happen," and it actually literally did happen.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy how that actually turned out to be a thing.
Yeah, and I don't agree with. I don't agree with even that thing. I don't think that was a legitimate reason to vote for Hillary Clinton. But by Jimmy Dore saying, "Oh, that'll never happen," he's actually saying that he's like legitimizing that argument, but saying that, "Oh, it's just not that it's going to happen, but if it were going to happen, Sam Cedar would be right." But anyway, my point is just that Sam
Right.
Cedar, he's actually, even when he was like not good politically, he was more liberal, I guess you could say. Um,
Right.
he was never he wasn't stupid, you know. He was pretty well informed.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand what you're. Yeah, I understand what you're saying on that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
another thing with Kyle Kalinske that I find annoying um, is he constantly says nonsense about the DPRK, North
yeah.
Korea.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, I was just about to say that too. You're right.
Yeah, and I don't think like Sam Cedar, like we're comparing him to Sam Cedar, you know, pros and cons. I don't think Sam Cedar would be pro North Korea, but like he wouldn't say some of the stupid things that Kyle Kalinske says. What did there were a couple things recently, like in the past few months, like related to Trump. I think he's been comparing like Trump to North Korea, which is a ridiculous. That's a politically illiterate thing. Like you're a political illiterate to compare a socialist state, left-wing government,
Yep.
anti-imperialist government, former colonized people to an imperialist, colonist, colonialist, billionaire regime. That's like,
That's racist and bigoted and a fucking warmonger, neocon, all that shit that Trump is.
yeah, it's like totally like even if you don't even have to be pro North Korea to realize how that comparison doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
It's a ridiculous comparison.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. No, you're right on that, Aiden and Corrado. You're right on that too. What you guys are saying on that. That today's Democrats, neoliberals are basically just their own worst enemy. Yeah, and I don't even affiliate with them, even though I'm not. I've been happy with the left. Okay, I am not those types. Like I didn't like. Okay, I didn't like fucking leave the left. I didn't do one of those. Like, I didn't do one of those left the left type shit. Like, no, I never fucking did that. No, it's not what I fucking no. That's not what I did. It's just some of my views have just evolved on some things, and I'm still I'm still economically left. I still believe in free healthcare, and I believe that healthcare should be a human right. And obviously, we know how I feel. I would never go to the Zionist entity. from the river to the sea, that is non-negotiable, and all my other principles are non-negotiable. All those positions are still non-negotiable. But I just think that. So I think. So yeah, that's what I believe in, and I just think that you just need a better, way when it comes to like taxation and whatnot. And I think it has to be reformed. I think it needs to be lowered for the middle class, and that's what I believe in. I don't believe in an income. I don't even believe in the income tax anyway. So really, those are the areas that you know, I've morphed on. So that's why I say what I am nowadays.
Uh-huh. Well, what is it? What do you mean by the income tax? What is why is there an issue with income tax?
Like,
Because that's a progressive tax. Like the more like I think there should be a progressive income tax. Like, okay, if you have less, you pay less in it. If you have more, especially on the higher end, like millionaires, multimillionaires, and billionaires,
or
like,
anyway. Well,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, obviously, I believe in that because obviously you taught me well about how I used to be under the assumption that like, oh, if you're gonna have an income tax, it should be the same for everybody. But then when you told me that it would it would be a burden on the middle class or whatever, and then that's when I realized like, oh shit, I'm not in favor of that because I would never be in favor of that. So I'm just not in favor of it anyway. I'm not in favor of it as a tax anyway. But if you are gonna have it, it has to be in a situation where you can't have it be low. You can't have it be lower for fucking millionaires and billionaires because that's ridiculous. That's where all this income inequality comes from anyway. I think a good way for taxation would be like a tax on like very high capital gains, and at least because at least with sales tax, yeah, I know that is kind of the same for everything, but at least you have control over where you're spending your money anyway, versus where it's like versus it's like versus like where like the income tax is like, well, money that you get, money that you work for, and all that. But and I just feel like I don't know. I just think like something like capital gains would make like I think like Washington State that does that because they don't have an income tax, but they have a tax on like capital gains, like high capital gains. So that's probably the thing that I would think would make the most sense. And that's something I actually told Arturo about because Arturo was actually a big fan of Washington State as a state.
The thing is, though, I don't think, I mean, overall, working class people, even middle class people, don't really pay that much in income tax.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
And it would really be, you know, more like of the wealthy who would benefit from getting rid of reducing or getting rid of income tax.
But like, wouldn't it be less for people if they say like if it was higher for higher earners, but it was lower for like if you make less, you pay less. That would be like the
Yeah,
only
that would
way
make
I would
sense.
think it would. Okay, well that would be the only way that I would think that it would make sense. And if you're gonna do it, it should be for everything. See, the reason I'm against it is I'm more against it in this country because why am I paying income tax and we're not getting universal health care? Why are we not getting that? Like, I'm against it in the sense of how it is in this country because all the other countries that have it all have the things that they all have. They all have public option on healthcare. They all have all these they have the free daycare for children. They have all these other different things. But some way somehow we have an income tax on the high end, low end, whatever. Even the flat ones in some places, including in my state too. Um, They accepted the surtax, but that's a whole nother thing altogether. How is it that we have that and still not have a public option on healthcare? So I'm against the income tax in this country because of the fact we don't have all the things that all the countries that pay income tax, they have it there. So I'm against. So okay, actually, when I say I'm against it in this country. Really, in all honesty, I'm against it in this country because if you're gonna have it, obviously it would have to be, it would obviously have to be kind of on that side, basically.
So then, wouldn't you not so much be not so much against the income tax as much as you're against not getting anything for it?
Yep, that's exact. Yep, that's right. That's exactly what it is.
Because one of the things, sort of the Republican playbook, is to like cut taxes and reduce spending on, social services like healthcare and other things. So the two tend to go hand in hand. So if you're, if you wouldn't be for cutting taxes then, because then that would be, counter to what you're advocating for, because cutting taxes and reducing the social programs, those two always go hand in hand.
The only thing that I'm for reducing spending on is what the politicians are spending on. So whenever I
Like the
say
military and all that
yes,
stuff.
that's the spending I've
Yeah.
always advocated to be against. Or like the administrative bloat that they have in like the bureaucracy. That every time I've always said in my videos about like the way the Democrats like they spend like this, like they're not spending on anything good. Like we all know how that I'm for cutting spending in those areas, not in any program itself. No, that was never my position. That was never my position. And I think that the taxes that should be lowered are the ones for low and middle income people. That's always been my position. That's always been my position. My position has always been about that.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be so much against the taxes. It'd be more so that the taxes should be spent on the people, the working class, rather than the billionaires
Yes.
and the military-industrial complex, which is also the billionaires, because these corporations, military-industrial complex
And
corporations.
yep, exactly. That's exactly where. Yeah, that's exactly it. Like every time I've argued against, every time I've always said like my views on tax cuts and on spending cuts has always been about the administrative bloat, has always been about bullshit like in the government being like the way it is, and like the military, but like those are the things. Corporate welfare, and they actually do have waste, fraud, and abuse. Now, when I say waste, fraud, and abuse, I'm not talking about in programs. I never support cutting programs. Never, ever in a trillion years. I'm talking the bureaucracy. That's what I advocate for. But then and I don't think that's a right wing position at all. I don't think that's a right wing position. I don't even think that should be at all, because every time I've always said about lowering taxes with better services, I've always said it about the middle class. I would never say it about people. Oh, more money should pay. No, never. I never advocate for that ever. That was never my position before in my entire life. Even me now that I've evolved on a few things, like even then, I would never support that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I know it's very I know it's very complex. I know that there's a lot of stuff that can be said there. Just trying to explain it the best way I can, and all that type of stuff. But I am in no means whatsoever capitalist. I am in no means MAGA. I am in no means a part of the other, like all that type of shit. I'll never be in support of Zion. I mean, obviously we know how I feel about Zionism. Like even if I like the people that I know, like in my community, that are center right are still economically left. Like my buddy Nicholas, my friend Rhapsody, all of them. That's probably where I align myself is with them. When we still all believe in social services and all that type of stuff. So
So then wouldn't it be mainly just left then? Because I mean, economics really outweighs other things. I mean, unless it was like far right on other things, maybe you'd be, because you think about it, what is it if you're economically left? What other things would make you center right? Because it would have to be some very far right things to outweigh that left thing, and I don't think there really are any far right positions that you guys would take. So it seems like you guys would just be left.
Yeah, something like that. So maybe that would be. I don't know. Maybe
because the term center right is very much like that's why I was kind of surprised that you would say that, because it's a very like establishment thing. I mean, that's like Bill Clinton, the Democrats moving to the right and embracing neoliberalism. And, I mean, now the Trump people are like far right, but sort of like the never Trumper Republicans who are still like John McCain, sort of, who's like super neocon, and they're maybe not comfortable with Trump because Trump makes the U.S. look bad, and because he's quote unquote not tough enough on America's enemies, that bullshit. Like that's very much when people say center right, that's sort of what comes to mind, like the sort of neoliberal.
That's not me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not me. Trust me, that is not me.
Yeah. So I would definitely, it's probably best to avoid that center. I mean, if you don't want to say left, I mean, I'm not sure, how you'd want to frame it, but it's definitely not center right.
Well, that's fair. I don't know what political party would I be forced to go in terms of the goddamn two-party system. Yeah, I don't know either. Bro. Because honestly, I don't think any of us in here are fucking far right or anything like that. No, we never were. I don't think that really would ever be I don't think any of that would ever be the case.
No, definitely not.
Because I've never been far fucking right or MAGA
no.
or neocon. That has never been my position in my entire. See, even Flame is like, no, you never were. That was never my position. That was never my position in my entire life. It never was. So, it definitely isn't. Because I wouldn't. Because then no, I would never be in support of that. What we always say about, and I know there might be some disagreement with some people or whatever, but the only one, and we had a Republican governor here in Massachusetts. We had Charlie Baker, who was more fucking liberal than even Biden was. I want you to think about that for a minute. That would be an example. Now, if you had like a small section of people that were like that, and could you imagine if Could you imagine if it was something like that? Or if it was like one of those European conservatives or something like that, that would be like fucking left in this country because the US is so fucking far right as a country anyway. So I'm not right in the sense of how it is in the US. So I would still not even be like that. Everybody would look at me thinking, oh, you're still a leftist. You're still a whatever. Yeah, because this country and its ideology is so fucking far right. Like, for example, there's a conservative party in Norway that is considered on the center-right spectrum, but in the spectrum over there, because they're moderate, they believe in public services. They still believe in public services. Yeah, they believe in lowering taxes for the people, but low and middle income people, they still have their welfare system, and I still believe in that. But
yeah, it's kind of like, it's kind of because U.S. politics has shifted so far to the right
so far to the
that
this right. Yep.
How you mentioned this guy Charlie Baker? When was he in office? I imagine it was a
2015.
while ago.
2015.
Oh, okay. That's not that long ago. But it was. Is that when he was no longer in office? Is that the end of his?
Yeah, well, he was in 2 terms, 2015 to 2023.
Oh, okay. Well, that's actually not that long ago because I was gonna say, Obama, funny enough, admitted that he said that his policies would be considered moderate Republican during the time of Ronald Reagan, which is a pretty good admission to show how. And Ronald Reagan was, I mean, in his time, Ronald Reagan was considered far right at his time because
Oh,
he was so not necessarily on, although to an extent on the social things, but it's mainly on the economics, on the social stuff too, but not to the same extent as Trump with like the white nationalism
Oh yeah,
stuff.
basically a fucking neo-Nazi in so many words. But yeah, so
Yeah.
actually, I think I kind of discovered where the fuck I actually would be, because now when I say, if I ever say, that term center right, that isn't even in the fucking American sense, because I don't even think any of us, like, not, I'm talking about like others that I know, I don't even think we would be, because we would still consider to be liberal in the eyes of like the neocons, because we ain't fucking neocons up in this bitch. Like, oh fuck no, because we ain't fucking neocons. Let me see if I can find that, because I saw that about Norway. I saw that about Norway, and there's some like moderate like parties like over there in those countries. That's probably where I would identify, in all honesty. Honestly, that would be the sense that I would follow. And I've looked through a lot of ideologies throughout my life. I've experienced with some different things. Never experienced with anything far right, just to be fucking clear. But I've experienced with some things. I used to be like a super hardcore Democrat at one point.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning that.
Yes, I was a big Bernie bro, big, all this and that. I actually did used to think Obama was really good back. Like, this was teenage me. This was like me as a teen.
Yeah, a lot of people, evolved since then.
Yeah. But I think for me, that's what my sense would be, because right in this country is not right like what it is over there. Because over there, it's still moderate. It still would be like left over here. Because I'm not right in the fucking American sense. Because being right in this country is like still fucking far right. Because even like being a so-called Democrat in this country is still right. Because because they're so far right, it's ridiculous. The Democrats are so fucking right wing, it's ridiculous. And Trump is just extreme right. He's just like fucking alt right, basically.
Yeah. Well, the thing though I would say about, that's a good distinction, that, you wouldn't be center right in the US, you'd be more center right in like a Scandinavian country.
Yes.
But absolutely. I think the thing to keep in mind though is that between left and right, it's a struggle between which direction you want to go in. And the center right or the center right in these Scandinavian countries, even though they're maybe to the left of mainstream politics here, their goal is to move things in a rightward direction. It's always like you can never really have politics can never really be just a stable thing that, okay, it's set, this is how it is, and it's not going to change. Like there's a constant struggle between left-wing forces and right-wing forces. And the right-wing forces are more, they want to have a more exclusivist policy, whether that be it's first and foremost for an economic elite, but then it's also often based around race, like in the US, racism. But at the core, it's always about the economic elite. Right. And I would say that the center right in these Scandinavian countries, their vision, while they're not at the point yet of like Donald Trump, that's the direction that they would take it in, because for it to get to the point that there's Donald Trump now, there needed to be all of the incremental steps to the right that happened,
Right.
the Ronald Reagan, Bill Clinton, Bush, Obama,
Yep.
each, little by little moving it further to the right. So I would just make that, be cautious of that because,
That's a fair analogy. No, that's a fair analogy.
yeah.
There are some, even like in Canada, or even like in their sense, they still have. I remember, although there was one exception from Canada, I definitely wouldn't want to be a part of. There was one. There's one exception from Canada that I wouldn't want to be a part of. Although there were some that I liked, but there was one. I'll make one exception. This Tory neocon that was Premier of Ontario from 1995 to 2002. His name was Mike Harris. He did like fucking $800 million budget cuts to like fucking hospital budgets and laid off thousands of nurses. And there was like teacher strikes and teacher union strikes and all this other shit that happened there. So no, I wouldn't be a part of that. No fucking way. And
Right.
I would definitely, Flame Liberation would definitely recommend you. If you ever looked into him, you would really agree that he was a real piece of shit.
Who is this again?
There was this premier in Ontario in the late 90s called Mike Harris. He was the premier of Ontario in like the late 90s. He like cut hospital budgets and he laid off like thousands of nurses and stuff like that. It was fucking unbelievable.
And was he from the equivalent of was he like from the Canadian version of the Republicans or the Canadian version of the Democrats?
Canadian version of the Republicans, the Tories. Like Tories.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Because, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it were either one, because at that time, that was when the Democrats in the 90s, you said, that's when the Democrats had made a major shift to the right under Bill Clinton.
Yeah, like
in the U.S.
Yeah, like with the prison industrial complex and all that other bullshit.
Yeah, and
so it probably
that's when the 90s was really the height of neoliberalism, and that's because that was as the Soviet Union was destroyed. Capitalism, global capitalists, 1% basically had an ideological monopoly. Like they could now, of course it's not true, but now they could say, oh, look, socialism has failed. Therefore, we need capitalism, and not just capitalism, more deregulated capitalism, more extreme capitalism.
Regulations, no checks and balances, no rules and regulations. Because that's even the problem with the Democrats here in Massachusetts, because they have no rules or regulations here. Like one party Democrat rule here, and they're doing like the same shit here as well. That's why I'm so against Maura Healey. I'm attacking Maura Healey and all them from the same exact side. So
yeah, because the Democrats, they're a neoliberal party. So the Republicans are the ones under Reagan that really, created neoliberalism, into like mainstream politics. Although you could argue that it actually started earlier. You could argue that it started under Jimmy Carter, but what Jimmy Carter, because the neoliberalism was pushed by the 1%, so they'll use either the Republicans or the Democrats to get it through. But with Jimmy Carter, it really was very minimal. There were some aspects you could point to, like there was some deregulation.
Yeah, right.
There's some things you could point to, but it was really minimal compared to Reagan. Reagan was really the one who was neoliberalism on steroids. And then after that, he had 2 terms. He was elected twice. He really shifted U.S. politics, and economics. And at that point, when he was completed his 2 terms, it was the late, when did he, I guess it was 1988. So it was the late 80s at this point.
Yeah.
And you had Gorbachev, the traitor in the Soviet Union, who was basically dismantling socialism. So by that point, Reagan had implemented all of his extreme neoliberal capitalist policies. The Cold War was coming to an end, with capitalism, imperialism, winning, so
Yeah.
the whole U.S. politics shifted to the right. The Democrats embraced neoliberalism,
Mm-hmm.
and it became a global phenomenon all over the world, basically, neoliberalism, except in the few socialist states that were still in existence.
Yep. And and with the exception of like Nelson Mandela too.
Oh
Actually,
yeah, well, he was a socialist. Mandela was a socialist,
I
actually.
have mad respect for him.
And they would have actually implemented socialism in South Africa, except because of the horrible international situation, they really felt that they couldn't, because the whole socialist bloc basically was destroyed, with a few small exceptions.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this neoliberalism was happening fucking all over. Just look what Desmond Tutu said. He demanded that Reagan would get on the world side and go against apartheid. And he said that Reagan was a fucking racist. Oh, Reagan was totally a fucking racist. He was a
Definitely.
racist scumbag. It wasn't this guy that he was the one that basically started the fucking no, it was Nixon who started the drug war. But then of course you had Reagan that did like mandatory prison time for like fucking cocaine and shit, just like a complete piece of garbage, and fueled money for the prison industrial complex, and stuff like that. I mean, they were the reasons why we're the world's biggest fucking penal colony. So imagine that being 25, having 25% of the world's prisoners, and yet we're only 5% of the world's population.
Yeah, and I think it was Reagan who started the racist caricature, basically as a justification to cut social programs, welfare and stuff. Didn't he start the term welfare queen?
Yeah, I think it was, but it was so
that
funny.
term.
Yeah, it was. I think it was too. I'm sure Nixon was doing stuff like that back then, because the number one cause of the drug war actually really started with him, but I think it just continued on, and then Reagan just put it back on steroids and human growth hormones, and then Bill Clinton obviously continued it, with this fucking crime bill from jail drug users and shit like that.
Yeah, and when the Democrats embraced it, that was a massive thing, because now the people that were supposed to be the supposed opposition, the people that were the supposed, left-wing party, at least relative, they were never a real left-wing party. Even under FDR, they were probably like center left, maybe.
Yeah.
And that was the furthest left they ever were.
Yep.
But this, relative to the Republicans, it was always the Democrats were to the left of the Republicans, during the Cold War and earlier. But when they finally embrace this stuff, it's further validation of this, neoliberal ideology. And that's the thing the Democrats have been doing that ever since. It's, on every point, like basically on every point, the Democrats concede to the Republicans, like on everything. And have you seen there's a meme that's very accurate, where it's like a ratchet, where it's like the gear that's spinning to the right is the Republican Party, and then the metal piece that locks the gear in place so that it can't be turned back to the left is the Democrats.
Yeah, I think I have seen
So
that.
U.S. politics keeps like a ratchet effect further and further to the right, and then the Democrats basically prevent it from being pushed back to the left.
Yes, I think I've seen that. I think I saw that. I saw that from Chris Hedges before, but I'm pretty sure I saw that from Lee Camp too. Because I know Eleanor Goldfield also did great stuff with regards to that too. Have you ever seen Eleanor Goldfield, Lee Camp's girlfriend? You ever watch? I mean, I'm sure you've watched Lee Camp before, right?
Yeah, I know Lee Camp. I don't think I know who the other person is.
I think it's his girlfriend actually. Um, Funny enough, she was on Mint Press with Menard Lee, not that long ago. They were doing some like women's study thing or whatever. Oh, a fucking course. Oh yeah, Trump wanted to fucking defund fucking PBS or whatever. Why doesn't he take his own advice and fucking defund himself? take his advice and fucking defund. Look, I'm not against defunding
Yeah.
fucking media. Don't get me wrong. I hate the media in this country. No one hates the media in this country more than fucking I do, or us in this community anyway. But we all know it's Trump just doing it to be fucking a distraction. It's all just be. I want
Yeah, it's all
everybody to-
for partisan politics
Yeah.
and
That's all it is, Space. That's all it is, Corrado. That's all it is. Everybody in here, I want you. All right, here's the thing. Listen up and listen clear. It's not that Trump's doing it for any other reason other than distractions. He's doing it for distractions so that way he can make himself look good and act because hating the media is popular now. So Trump has to go on board and now try to be against the media, except when it's on his side.
oh yeah, except when it's all the pro-Trump corporate media and all the big pro-Trump social media. I mean, that's the funny thing now is that social media, big tech social media, they are fully on Trump's side. Like before Trump, like the funny thing is, some years before, like 2023 and earlier, the Republicans' talking point was always like, "Oh, big tech oligarchs, woke big tech." Now, big tech is more openly pro-Trump than they ever were pro-Democrat. Even Zuckerberg, who used to be supposedly supportive of the Democrats, Zuckerberg and Elon Musk, those two, completely back Trump.
Of course. Fucking Newsmax and also dog shit. Fucking Janine Pirro, I still support Donald. Oh, God, give me a fucking break. Ugh.
Yeah.
all them and all these. No, that's. But yeah, just remember that. It really has nothing to do with really other than it's just to make him fuck himself look good.
Yeah, there's nothing good that Trump or, the Democrat. Like, here's the thing. People have to realize, like, nothing that the Republicans or the Democrats do is going to be good. And even if, say, they do something, like, people are, like, always trying to find, like the Kyle Kalinskis, they're always be, like, trying to find something good to point to, like a needle in the haystack of, like, oh, the Democrats did this thing that's actually good. And then other people like the Jimmy Dore types, and of course all the standard right-wing people, but like some people allegedly on the left or formerly on the left, like Jimmy Dore types, try to always like nitpick and try and find the needle in the haystack, put a magnifying glass to this tiny thing that Trump allegedly did that's so good, and then act like it's something good, But it's anything that they do is negative, and even if they do something that's half good, they're doing it for a bad reason.
Yep. I'm just typing in my chat here. We hate both sides in this community.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. Oh yeah.
Because they're controlled by the 1%, both of them. But I wanted to ask you this, going back to the center right thing. Why wouldn't you? So it's what it seems like though is that you have an issue with the term left. Like why you don't? Because it seems like on the substance you are of the left, but there's something that you don't want to use the term or something.
Well, yeah, just the ones of today, like the shit libs. Like I'm talking like ones like them. I'm my own person. I'm talking like you said, like we're saying, like the Kyle Kalinskis and whatnot, and those people. Like, I don't want to be. I'm not part of that. I'm not.
Well, that's why I think it's all the more important to identify with the left, because they're not left. We actually are left, and if we leave it to them to claim that they're left, then that
wouldn't be good.
I think that's a big mistake, because then you have them claiming to be left when they're not, and then people who actually are of the left, that this will just lead to more people being confused about what's left and what's right. And I think it's important to always say that we are the real left and that these people are not the left.
Reform the left. Like we're against the left in terms of how they're doing it, not whereas like we're the different.
The fake left.
Yeah, that's actually the reason why I've had so many problems, because I was just so frustrated with the phony people on the left that were always trying to fucking hijack our movement.
Yeah, because they're not left. They're they're center right or right wing, and they're just not left.
What would Kyle Kalinske even be anyway?
He'd probably be.
According to you, like what would?
Well, Kyle Kalinske personally, because here's the thing, like what he actually advocates for by constantly supporting the Democrats, no matter what. I'd say he's like center right, but like the things that he claims to be for, like healthcare and these things, I'd say are center left. So like in his head, I guess he's center left, but like in practice, he's center right.
Yeah. Whereas like with me, I still believe it. I still believe healthcare is a human right. Even if I like no, it wouldn't matter what side. I would always believe in that. That would never change. Like that, you could tell me like private healthcare is the best thing. No, I still would never believe it. I would have to be. You could put me. I wouldn't be. No. Well, it wouldn't matter. I would never be fucking on the neocon or the MAGA right anyway. So you can't put me in that camp either way. So,
Yeah.
Can't put me can't put me on that side anyway. I have a feeling he was kissing Trump's ass using right wing talking points saying one of the alleged bad the Trump GOP right are great. Yeah, I'm sure they are. You know what it is? It's all about that fucking money. You know? What do you think? It's all about that fucking money. I'll tell you right now, my homie Rhapsody, if he claims to be a Republican, he's the only Republican at this point I can actually fucking stand. And I'll say that. Everyone else I know is straight up independent. No one is of either label. You know, no one is of any label in my family, like at all. None of my friends, really, anybody. I'm just gonna say that, like right now.
Yeah, because both parties are so discredited at this point.
Yeah. Like
the danger, though, yeah. I think, well, there's two possible dangers, because on one hand, Trump is becoming so authoritarian. There's a question as if there will be, any, sort of like previous Trump type of politics where the Democrats and Republicans sort of are like even and they balance off each other. He may, switch it just so that his, Trump politics just control the whole system and there aren't like legitimate elections in the future. That's one possibility. But another possibility is that, Trump just is so horrible and he turns so many people against him that now 4 years later, come, 2028, the next election, so much time has passed since the time of Biden and all of Biden's crimes. And Trump has done so much damage that the Democrats can seem like a possible alternative to Trump, which is, and that they'll have some credibility because Trump has been so destructive. That's another danger, on the horizon. One of the two. They're kind of like the two opposite possibilities because, right now both parties are so discredited, but that could shift. And I think the Democrats are kind of betting on that. And that's why I think initially, remember, a lot of people were asking, where are the Democrats, to stop what Trump is doing? They claim, they've been claiming Trump is Hitler and all this stuff. Well, the Hitler guy is in office and he's doing all this extreme stuff. What are you guys doing? You guys are, you'd think that, if Hitler took power in the United States, you guys would be acting, taking more extreme measures to stop him. But they're not even taking, they're acting like everything's normal, everything's fine, and they're not doing anything to stop it. And I think the reason they're doing that is because they're hoping, okay, let him do all this damage, and then in 4 years we'll coast back in because everyone will be so angry at him that they'll forget about all of our crimes.
Yeah, well, forget about us. And it's like, if they really want to be an alternative, why do they fucking keep going so fucking far to the right then? That's my fucking question. Why do they keep going why are they so fucking right wing in their own way? If they're so up against Trump and his far right, so it's like, why the fuck do they keep going so right wing then? That's the thing, dumbasses. And I'm referring to them as dumbasses, obviously not you. I'm like, that's the thing, dumbasses. Yeah. Just like when it's like, no, that's what I Twitter was far left before, but it took. I wouldn't go that far. Now it becomes polar opposite when Musk takes over and enables the far right. Oh yeah, bro, I won't even deal with X. Like I'll only go on there. I only go on there maybe to see how like Dust James and Alex Suarez, my homies, are there, and Jamar are doing, and like a few other things. But other than that, I don't want to deal with that fucking Nazi cesspool. Like I do not want to deal with X. The X can get fucking wiped off the fucking universe. They just take a fucking ball of dynamite and just burn it to a crisp. Just be done with it. It is so corroded with fucking far right fucking fascist pieces of shit. Now it's so disgusting. I can't.
Oh yeah, it's complete. It's complete propaganda. Like before, I can't see the comments right now, but someone was saying that it used to be far left. It was never far left, but it was more Democrat leaning.
Yeah, it was more.
The people that controlled it.
A little bit more sane, and I'm not defending the Democrats here.
But even then, it was never as like extremely partisan as it is now. Like now, it's just a Elon Musk propaganda bullshit outlet where
it's like
they literally make up bullshit. Like they'll have like a Facebook live, not a Facebook, an X Twitter live thing with some far right person that's aligned with Trump, and then the number of views or likes or whatever will be like 6 trillion people watched this stream, and Elon Musk runs the website, so he could literally write whatever number he wants, and then they'll be like, oh, 6 million or 6 trillion or 500 billion people watched this stream, and Elon Musk could literally write whatever he wants as like the alleged number of views, and then the right-wing media could pick that up and say, oh look, millions of people watched Tucker Carlson or whoever that they want to amplify, and now it becomes news that millions of people support this. So it's complete fake bullshit now.
Fake. It's fucking fake. And you know how many people I've seen so much racist? You know how many times I've seen people literally say the fucking N-word? Not even like the gangster.
Oh yeah.
Not even like the gangster way. Because like me, I'm kind of gangster myself. Like I've grown up in the hood, so I love rap, hip hop, all that shit. I'll sing that shit any day of the week, son. But these people say, they say the ER way of saying it. Like we're in like the 40s. Like they'll say, like these people are like flat out fucking racist. And I'm not just saying racist just for the sake of saying racist. No,
they're racist, and they'll admit, they won't dispute it at that point. I mean, they won't. I mean, if you're using the N-word, at that point you're, and again, not in the way you're talking about, like how you mentioned with the R at the end. It's very obvious that these people are racist. And here's the funny thing: all these right-wing pieces of shit, Alex Jones, all these people. Oh, Alex Jones also got unbanned.
Of course he did.
And all these right-wing pieces of shit are always talking about freedom of speech, freedom of speech. So pro-Palestine people like myself and countless other people, even much bigger accounts, have been banned and censored from Twitter for being pro-Palestine. But you're allowed to say the N-word, so that's freedom of speech, right? You can't criticize Israel, but you could use racial slurs as much as you want. So that's the right wing's view of freedom of speech.
You can basically say all of that stuff. You pretty much just say anything you want, but there's no recollection of any of that. Well, like they're literally allowed to say like 1940s racist shit. I've seen again and again and again. I've seen it, and it makes me. It's fucking disgusting. It makes me want to fucking vomit. And I have a strong stomach, dog. Let me tell you, I have a strong fucking stomach. But some of these people are so fucking bigoted. It's disgusting. Like I swear to God, it's like it looks like Hitler Youth. I have never seen such a recreation of Hitler Youth ever in my entire life.
Yeah, I mean, people like this, they have a serious mental issue, because why would you hate someone because of their race and to such an extreme level? It's like you have to be really screwed up in the head.
Bro, I went to school with some of my best friends, like in like kindergarten, were black, Hispanic. I went to school with I've been to high school with some kids that were Muslim. That's the other thing I don't understand the thing with that. I've been to school. One of my orthodontist when I was a little kid was also He was Muslim. He was actually Iranian, actually. All that type of stuff. So I don't understand this whole thing either. I've been to school with black kids, Hispanic kids, Indian kids, Asian, you name it. So it's just like, no, we're not doing the whole Democrat like way of thing because they don't even care about race or anything. Like they just do it for their own fucking propaganda narrative. Like I believe that everyone is equal. Like we're all, no, this is no reason for it. But that's what Elon
Yeah.
is. Elon is a fucking racist. He's a piece of fucking scum. Him,
Yeah.
all of them. MAGA is, yeah. And you want to know what's funny? I've actually had people, when I was saying stuff about Trump, I have some, admittedly, I'm sure there are some people in here, oh, they hear me, but they think, wait, why are you saying, if you're saying this about Trump, does that mean you're, oh, I'm like, no, I never went there. I never said that. I never fucking said that. I never
Yeah,
said.
what people need to realize is that just because you can be and you should be, but it is possible to be against both the Democrats and the Republicans, and because you're criticizing one doesn't mean that you support the other.
Which is the case. Yeah, which is true. Ugh. Yeah, and that's always the case. I tend to have a very strong stomach, but even then it disgusts me how literally brainwashes so bad. Yeah, no, seriously. It's fucking unbelievable. No, it's fucking unbelievable. And I don't know. It's just it is. But like I said, that's why. Now, like everyone in my, luckily everyone I know, no one, everyone knows it. Especially in my family, everyone in my family hates Trump. Everybody does. Yeah, I will say that everyone in my family pretty much fucking hates Trump. I think my mom and my grandparents probably hate him the most. My dad, no, my dad doesn't like him either.
Well, that's the good thing is that now, and that's the thing, anti-imperialists, people, the actual left have an opportunity now because the Democrats and Republicans are so discredited, both parties, and I think a lot of people are, willing to see an alternative message,
Yep.
against both parties. But I think I got to get off pretty soon. Are there any other topics you wanted to talk about?
I think, let's see. Well, we have covered a lot of. Let's see. Might be some things here. Damn, it was one thing that. Oh, I did want to add one more thing about. Have you heard this? We got to talk about Argentina and Ecuador because I was talking about those things earlier. You know about Javier Milei, this.
Oh yeah, he's a complete piece of
scumbag.
shit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
him and that one from El Salvador. I mean, I know I don't mean to be like jumping all over the place, but I'd put them in the same category.
Oh, what's his name? Yeah, Puke Kelly. Yeah, that's what I call him, Puke Kelly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, piece of shit. And a complete disgrace being he's of Palestinian ancestry, actually. What a complete disgrace to Palestinians. He's like Mahmoud Abbas of the Palestinian Authority.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, what like a disgrace to Palestinians or some of the most bravest people who have been through something that almost nobody has ever experienced. And then there's that guy taking Trump's prisoners without any due fucking process. And just allowing them
but in all fairness, I don't think he really identifies much with Palestinian culture. I think he's very distant from that, He was born in Central America and probably has no, connection to it. He never talks about Palestine, doesn't give a damn about, what's going on in Gaza or anything.
Sort of like the evangelical part of like the religious, like evangelical type shit. But yeah, there's that Javier Milei who's the same thing. I've seen a lot of clips from Ben Norton. He's scum.
Actually, I was literally going to say the same thing because I was actually seeing discussion about, debate about the economy in Argentina. And so I wanted to, look into it a bit because there's all this talk about, by the mainstream U.S. economics, they say like, oh, Argentina used to be such a rich country. And this guy, Juan Perón, came in and he tried to help these poor people, and when he tried to help these poor people, it ruined the economy. So they have to whenever a government like spends too much to help poor people and working class people, it's just bad for the economy. And this is the type of bullshit that they say.
Oh yeah.
And so I wanted to look into it a bit. And Javier Milei, yeah, he's like he's a libertarian. He's an extreme far right libertarian, neoliberal, extreme lunatic.
Zionist. He's a full-on fucking
Extreme
Zionist.
Zion. Yeah, all these things. Yeah, Zionist.
Neo.
And he's like he's destroying Argentina's economy. And by the way, so they like to say the same thing about Venezuela. They like to say, oh, Venezuela used to be a rich country, and then the socialists came in and destroyed the economy. They say, oh, Argentina used to be this rich country, and then Juan Perón, who wasn't really a socialist, he's like a weird mix of thing, like left and right, but economically sort of left wing or center left, populist. He was like making policies to help like working class people to an extent in the country, and economic nationalism, protectionism of the local economy.
Yeah.
And they say like, oh, that messed it up. But when Argentina was never a wealthy country, it was, and Ben Norton lays this out really well. I'm glad you mentioned Ben Norton with regard to this, because what Argentina was like, that when they talk about it being wealthy, it was basically like the U.S. South during slavery. You had a small handful of European elites who went there and basically ran plantations. It was a very backwards economy, agricultural, and it was wealthy for those elites who ran the country, and it was a very small population. But then as the population grew, and it actually became like a legitimate country with a large population, that's when there was more poverty, because there weren't as many elites relative to the total population, because the population grew, and you had a government that was like I wouldn't necessarily say left wing, economically left wing, I guess you could say, nationalist government of Juan Perón, and some subsequent, you had left wing leaders, well, actually mostly right wing, I think, like military leaders there, but they were like economically nationalist and protectionist, and had some like populist economic stuff. I'm not an expert on this stuff, but there's sort of like a back and forth, but the sort of economic left-wing stuff sort of stayed for decades, I think, to like for protectionist, nationalist reasoning. And anyway, now you've got Javier Milei, who's like trying to gut the economy and basically bring slavery to the country. Again, from Ben Norton's discussion about this, he wants to increase the working hours, decrease the pay for people, and make it so that employers can fire people if they refuse to work longer for less pay. And this is the craziest part, allegedly, and I believe this because Javier Milei is such an extreme lunatic, they want to make it so that employers could actually pay employees in barter, not even in cash, but in like barter, like in like products that they make.
That's unfucking believable. Oh my God, I think he's worse than Trump, because I actually also heard that he was also closing down fucking shelters for like domestic violence victims because he doesn't want to fucking fund them. And trust me, I know.
Oh yeah, cut all government. Yeah, he destroyed entire agencies, huge agencies.
Like halfway decent agencies. I'm sorry, I know I was like getting fired up there. It's like actually decent agencies, and I know, trust me, because I work in mental health services too. So trust me, it's not easy dealing with Trump's cuts. That trust me, they're bad. Trust me, like that's why we have to reallocate a lot of our workers. That's why we're doing more job trainings. Trust me, it hasn't been easy for us. Are you fucking kidding me? It's not been easy for us, and it's not going to get any fucking easier. Believe me, it's not. It's a joke. And hey, you know what? That's why I make sure I'm going to have a backup plan for any unemployment benefit, just God forbid, just in case anything fucking happens, I'm just saying. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
it's a
look.
good
I'm
idea.
still gonna look around. So then that's what this job training was actually. Oh, here's this little ID thing you can do. Like, there's these things, and I'm like, okay, I understand. Well, might look into that because I'm not fucking playing games. Like, I am not gonna be in a position where I'm gonna end up with this apartment and end up getting fucking evicted or something, or end up like, no. I've been through poverty several times. Never going. No, I'd rather be dead. I'm never going down that position again. But no, I feel like I understand what it's like, but I think it's worse. I think what Javier Milei is doing might even be a little bit worse than what Trump is even doing. As crazy
Yeah,
as that.
it's more extreme. Well, in some ways, what Trump is doing is more extreme, but in some ways, what Javier Milei is doing is more extreme.
I just feel like,
Um,
yeah, because like
what
Milei
I
is
mean
more
by that
young.
is that just by the fact that it's the United States, the most powerful empire in the world,
Right.
even though Trump isn't doing like things as extreme as Javier Milei, in some ways, the ramifications are much more extreme. But you're right that like Javier Milei's policies are actually, well, in some ways they're more. In a lot of ways, I'd agree. In a lot of ways, maybe overall they're more extreme. The reason why I'm starting to think, is it more extreme or not? Because in some ways, like Trump actually like arresting people and deporting people in these mass numbers, and targeting people for their First Amendment. I don't think Javier Milei is doing that, although he is doing cracking down on freedom of speech and stuff.
Yeah,
But on the other hand, like the economic sledgehammer that he's bringing to the country is much bigger than what Trump has been doing. Like destroyed so many agencies, like completely. Not just like how Trump is like trying to gut the agencies, but Javier Milei like completely just abolished these agencies and
Yeah.
massively increasing poverty. And the funny thing is that he's extreme far right. A lot of these establishment neoliberal, like The Economist and like different establishment neoliberal outlets that fully, maybe they don't like Trump's like racial white supremacy and like sexism and stuff,
Right.
but they like right-wing neoliberalism, are actually like giving credence to Javier Milei and saying, well, maybe there needs to be some extreme measures because the economy, blah blah blah, the previous governments were giving too many benefits to the poor, to the working class, and maybe there needs to be some extreme measures to. And the way they frame it is like, oh, short-term pain for long-term gain, but that's never how it works. They've been
No.
talking since the 80s about trickle-down economics,
I
and
think
it's never worked.
Yeah.
It's never spread out to the rest of the broader population. That's never how it works.
But then they say the other ideologies don't work. Then they say, oh, we left it, all that type of stuff. And they're not.
Yeah, which is demonstrably false in every regard.
Yes, of course it is. And like I said, even though like I've explored different views and I might have a little bit, different perspectives on some things, I always have known, and I will say it, that I even agree that whenever they say socialism never been everywhere, it's been tried, it's fucking stupid. Even then I will still discredit that to their faces and say how stupid that is.
Yeah, it's like literally every example of socialism.
I don't even have to be one.
Every example of socialism around the world, it's like, okay, Soviet Union. Let's take the Soviet Union. Compare what was the horrible, right? Supposedly horrible socialist time period. Compare that to pre-socialist Russia and post-socialist Russia. Soviet Union blows both of them out of the water. It was way better. People want to go back to the Soviet days. They wish that they could go back to those days. So that's the one example, the biggest one. Let's point to other examples. Iraq, before 2003, post 2003. I think even people on the right, like even Trump admitted that it was a mistake to invade Iraq. So socialism in Iraq, look at what Iraq was like during socialism, from the time of the Ba'ath Party and Saddam Hussein and Ahmed Hassan al-Bakr. It was way better than it was like before, and it was way better than what it's been since.
Same with Syria.
Libya.
Yep, Libya and Syria, and that too, yep.
Although Syria I wouldn't necessarily say was socialist. That's a longer story, but even so, like it was much better,
Yeah, right.
before. Even in the U.S. Now, the U.S. was never socialist, but according to these right-wing idiots, they'll say like, they'll say Obama was a communist, stupid stuff like
I
that.
just gotta
Well, if
say,
Obama,
yeah, it's ridiculous. I just think, bro, it's so funny. Like you and I just debunking these fuckers like this is just so funny. Like I don't know. I
well, that's the
enjoy
thing.
doing it, but I enjoy doing it with you especially. I don't know because it's like
Yeah.
you know a lot more about this stuff. Like you're like the one I go to about that type of stuff. Gladly because it's just so.
I should really do a video debunking this thing about,
Yes, you should.
socialism never
And you
works.
can always,
And
yes, you can.
the funny thing is even in the US, I was saying like, oh, these idiots, they'll say like Obama was a communist, but FDR was way further to the left than Obama was. And
Hell yeah.
they always talk about like how, oh, the 50s and the earlier decades were so much better. That was as a result of FDR's left wing and, according to them, far left wing economic policies. That was a result of that. So it's like in every measure, left wing economics has improved the situation massively. They want to say, oh, Venezuela used to be. Venezuela was doing great during Hugo Chavez. Even Fox News talked about it. The issues that they're having under Maduro have to do with the oil markets and the economic warfare against Venezuela. When you literally steal the country's gold that's deposited in the Bank of Britain, you're literally stealing the country's gold. You don't think that's going to screw up the economy? Of course it is. And then they want to say, oh, socialism doesn't work. It's like, you admitted it was working prior to all of the economic warfare against the country. So don't pretend like you didn't say that all of a sudden.
Exactly. And the thing is, the sanctions too, because like the sanction regime actually started with Obama, and obviously continued worse with Trump and Biden too. When Trump, worse, obviously, it's like every time they say that, it's always that like like who are these fucking people like the Sam Harris and like the neoliberals like the Tim Pools, people like that, fucking the libertarians. Now see, even though like I said, even though I've had some differing views, I would never be a fucking libertarian. No, never.
Yeah.
No. Now, every time I always ever said about tax cuts, I just want to make it perfectly clear. That's always been about the low and middle income people, always. And I've always said about spending cuts has always been about the bureaucracy and the military industrial complex and the politicians. Never the services, never against say cutting money for services. I'm talking about the administrative bloat in these bureaucracies. Because if you actually cut that spending, you would have more spending to allocate elsewhere, and you'd actually be able to invest. And you get the actual waste which exists with the politicians funding their pockets. That's what I would cut, and that's what I actually believe in.
Yep, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, I think we had a very good conversation. I'll definitely want to come back sometime soon.
Definitely.
Thanks for having me on.
Of course, and I'm actually glad I was able to explain that to you because you know me, never go in that direction. I'm not. You know me, I'm not like that, and I never will be.
Yep, for sure.
Yep. All right. Yeah, all right. Thanks, homie. Have yourself a good one.
Yep.
And I'll see you in the next one. Wanna hit me up anytime.
Talk to you again soon. Have a good night.
You too. That was a great conversation. So yeah, that basically summed it up. But yeah, like I said, guys, I'm that way in my own way. I have never argued. I would never believe in tax cuts for the fucking right. That would never been my position. Even though my view on the income tax is different, I just think this is better ways to fund taxation. But that's just me personally. Now, again, I'm against the income tax. And again, if we have the income tax was actually funding like free healthcare and education, like how every other country in the world did, I'd actually be all for that. I'd actually think the income tax would make more sense. But in this country, it doesn't. In the states and the way they do it, even the way they try to tax the rich in this country, they still fail on it. They still poorly handle it. So I'm against it in the American sense. So when I say I'm center right, I am that not in the American sense. I'm in it in my own way. Besides, I'm my own person. I am always in favor of public services. I'm in favor of lower taxes for low and middle income people, less government spending for themselves and that administrative blow, and more money going towards what the things that matter most to society. And that's what I believe in. And that has always been my position. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here for tonight. This was a great conversation. I want to thank Flame of Liberation for stopping by. I want to thank Nick and Rocky Roo for stopping by too. Thank you, Corrado, Rhodes, and Kalen, and everyone else for stopping by. Thank you, Flame of Liberation, for this great conversation, and I look forward to more. And everyone else for stopping by tonight. Really appreciate it. And I will catch you guys with more videos and other stuff coming up soon, including my next stream and other videos and other stuff coming your way soon. So have yourselves a good rest of your night, good rest of your week, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Until then, stay safe, stay well, stay classy, keep fighting, keep on rocking, take care of yourselves and all each other, and I will see you comrades in the next one. Till next time, have yourselves a good one, everybody. Signing off for now, and I'll see you guys with my next stream on Monday, next Monday. More videos coming up soon. Until then, have a good night, have a good week, and have a good weekend. I'll see you all next time. Good night, peace out, and see you guys next time. So long, peace out.